settings done. I had to update my microphone, and that took me like 15 minutes, and then I had to go find all the settings to change those. That was crazy. That was kind of frustrating. Anyway, okay, let's get our background up. Cool. Hey. Whew. That was crazy. I was like yelling at my computer. What are you doing to me? Oh, painful. Give some time. If anybody is in here, just let me know if you can hear me. Oh, hi, Ina, I see you. Just let me know if you can hear me well enough or if I'm too quiet. Man, I'm so mad. Like, I got up this morning, early. I got up an hour before I had to start the live. And I saw there was an update. I'm like, oh, cool, I'll take an update. Good God, I didn't know what I was signing myself up for. That was crazy. Good, great, thank you. Yeah, so then I'll just go over what I got going on here then. How do you morally justify using animals? And let's see, I'll put myself in the middle here. I have some resources. Dominion 2018. Both of these are free on YouTube. Dominion is 2 hours long, but it covers all the animals that we use. Not all of them, but majority of them, and their standard practices. And it's free on YouTube. Also look up Dairy is Scary. It's only 5 minutes, and it shows you what's inherent in dairy. And on my other side, I have nutritionfacts.org. If you're worried about getting your nutrition, you can get everything you need on a plant-based diet. All it takes is you looking. And here's a great place to start. You can look up on your own, though. This is just a suggestion. This is what I like. The Vegan Dailey Dozen is what I use to make sure I get everything I need in a day. Oh, thank you. I didn't get my guests up here. Hold on, Mr. Live. And actually, yeah, that was it. So those are the resources. And I just want to understand, your principles. And I'm sure that we agree on a lot of things. So I'm not here to push my morality on anybody. I'm here to show that we actually have a lot of similar principles. Okay. Mr. Live.
Oh.
Hi, are you over 18?
Hold up. You asked me what?
Are you over 18?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you morally justify using animals?
The same way we used to use slaves.
So you think that's justified?
Well, at least the slaves didn't have to worry about getting eaten. Yeah.
I think we're done. Gross. That's pretty sad. If you don't believe in human rights, then we're not even going to be able to understand each other, because we are all deserving of our human rights, our inherent rights, which are to be respected and not enslaved or exploited. Yeah, but he immediately said that it was justified too. That's what's gross. Like, so you don't even care about your own autonomy or your families and friends? Hey, YCHG, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sorry for my alarm. So how do you morally justify using animals?
I just kind of want to start with a question, actually, for
Well,
you.
could you answer my question first and then I'll answer yours? Unless it's a
Um,
clarifying question, I don't mind, but I'd rather stick to
yeah,
my question first and then I'll follow up
yeah,
with yours.
like, I just kind of see it the same as, like, obviously it's not the same, but plants are alive as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it kind of just goes down the food chain, you know what I mean? Like, animals
So,
eat animals, and we're considered mammals, so we're just doing what, it's just natural,
okay,
I feel like.
so you're saying plants are alive, which they are,
Correct.
but they're not sentient. That's the
Correct.
difference. Okay. So plants don't have a preference, and they don't experience suffering because they don't make preferences. You have to make preferences in order to suffer. So
Correct, correct, yeah.
plants are not sentient. So I would rather eat living plants than take the life of a sentient being. And two, for us being animals, yes, we are animals. We are mammals. That is very true. Not all humans, but a lot of us are able to weigh out what's right and wrong, right? We understand morality is complex, right? So
Definitely.
we're what we call moral agents. Whereas like children or some people who may not have all their cognition, people who can't really fully understand what's going on or weigh something out, those people are what we call moral patients. So regardless of their ability to understand morality or how intelligent they are, they're just sentient and they deserve, the moral obligation from moral agents to not be exploited by them. So
Definitely, I agree with that.
okay. So we also put animals in that same category because they're also sentient. So then,
For sure.
so I guess then what justifies what we do to animals, but not to humans?
Right. And like I understand both perspectives. You know what I mean? Like everybody's entitled to their own opinions on everything, and
Oh,
like
and
everybody
I'm,
does what everybody's
yeah,
gonna
I
do.
just want to know yours.
Yeah. I personally I eat meat. I have watched Dominion and both Dairy is Scary, and it kind of like it widened my horizon definitely to what is going on to the animals that we are eating. Um, and I've thought about like I don't know. I'm so used to eating meat. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I was the same
So,
way. I used to make fun of vegetarians.
um, so like trying to go from not eating it to, or trying to go from eating it to not eating it, I feel would be like a really hard transition.
It does
Um,
sound that way, and I felt the same way when I was learning this. I was getting frustrated because I didn't want to support this, but I also felt exactly how you're saying. I felt like, well, how am I supposed to eat? And that seems like such a huge change. But honestly, once I did it, it really only took a month to figure out how to change. And after that, it was just repeating what I had already learned. So I mean, yeah, there was some stuff that like I made mistakes. I had to go look stuff up sometimes, but it was because not because I wanted to be under this label of vegan. It was because
Right.
I didn't want to support, what was happening to animals because I knew I didn't need to. And even though it was being forced on me, I wanted to make that effort because if it were me in that situation, I would hope there was somebody on the outside doing the same for me, you
Right.
know?
Can I ask like a question? So where do you get protein from if not eating meat?
Yeah. So all plants have protein, but there are plants that have like more protein in them, like beans. There's also like tempeh, tofu, nuts, even pasta, breads. Those all have protein. You can get any of those vegan meats. They also have protein. Protein powders. There's lots of options. But if
Do you
as
have
long
to?
as
Oh, I'm
long as
sorry.
you oh no, you're fine. I just wanted to add that if you eat your total calories, you'll get your need of protein.
Okay, you just answered the question that I was getting ready to
Okay.
ask. I didn't know if you
Yeah.
like had to eat more of those to get the daily protein that you needed, or
No. I'm
but you
hella
just answered
lazy. Yeah.
that.
I'm hella lazy. I don't want to eat a ton of food. Unless it's like
Gotcha.
really tasty fatty food, I'll do that too, but
Right. Snacks all day for the win.
yeah, if I don't always do it because, I want to I'm later in my life. I'm 37 now. So I'm trying to be a little healthier. When I was younger, I was eating a lot of junk food and it was vegan junk food, but I
Right.
still was gaining weight cuz I was eating too much excess calories and fat. But now I eat this vegan Daily Dozen. I basically just follow that checklist. And it's just an easy make sure you get this group of food this many times a day kind of a checklist. So it's
All right.
basically
I'll definitely check that out.
awesome.
But I'll let you talk to some more people. I appreciate you answering some questions for me that
Hell yeah.
I just kind of wanted to know. And hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Come back and
Every,
ask anytime.
yes, ma'am. You guys have a great day.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that was great. I appreciate honest people. Sadie. Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Okay. So, how do you morally justify using animals?
I just believe like it's natural to eat and wear clothes, and that's what we need. But I have questions for you, if that's okay.
Sure. Let me respond to what you said. We do have alternatives for all those things. Go ahead and ask your question, and then we can move on to either topic that goes.
Yeah, I was just wondering what clothes you wear. Like, what materials do you wear?
Cotton, anything synthetic. I make sure to not wear leather or wool or silk.
Do you wear polyester?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe.
Because technically polyester is made of dead animals.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you mean because it's made out of oil?
yeah.
Oh.
So would
Well,
that
let's
not be
first.
against?
I hear you. So maybe if we define what veganism is first, maybe that might help clarify. Because veganism isn't against using oil, it is against exploitation of animals, though. So you are onto something. Um, so the definition is, I'm going to sum it up though in my own way. Veganism is a principled stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So using oil didn't require that animals were forced into existence to be used and then unalived or just used in general. The oil was from animals that had died naturally so long ago that have turned into, essentially some kind of a dirt. So they're not
Right,
sentient.
so what about animals who are raised on farms kindly and who then come to the end of their lives? Do you see a problem with eating that?
Well, I mean, you're still seeing someone as a resource, right? Like you force someone to exist just so that you can use them when they die, and that's kind of weird. Um, like, do you like imagine if I had a child, and I knew that any child I had wasn't going to be able to make it past age 10. So I had that child anyway because I knew that when they died, I could eat their body morally, right? Because I didn't technically do anything to them, right? I just waited for them to pass away. Isn't that kind of weird that I would
Um,
view that person as like a living hot dog?
I don't think that's kind of the same. I'm talking more like animals who were born on farms not for the purpose of eating, but just for existing. And then instead of
Who does that?
wasting, quite a
No,
lot of people, farmers
no,
need
they don't
sheep
do
and
that.
animals. No, a lot of people do that. Raise
Why
animals
do
because
farmers go into business?
crops.
To make money. Farmers do it for the money.
Yeah,
So
but they
they're
have
so
morals.
so to raise an animal is very expensive. They have medical care, they have food. So farmers don't bother with animals that don't make them money.
Yeah, but why would somebody spend all that money on medical care on animals if they really didn't care? Wouldn't you just kill it anyway and then eat it?
No, because they want the product to be the best that it can be. They don't
Yeah,
see
so
the
kill it at
animal.
birth and eat it then.
Yeah, they do that too. Do you think that's fair to the animals?
No, I think animals
Not
should be
really.
raised and let live their lives and then
Okay.
eaten after they die.
Let's put your ideal situation in front, right? Okay, so this animal, whatever it is, cow, chicken, pig, whatever, has the best life we could give them. The cuddliest bed, softest music to put them to sleep at night. We gave them all the cuddles all day, every day. And then you send them to a slaughterhouse to have their throat slit. Is that fair?
No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, at the very end of their lives when it would be immoral to keep them alive any
Sadie's,
longer.
this is such a non-realistic situation. It's expensive to raise animals. They live quite a long time. So pigs, for example, can live to be like 15 years old, and they're unalived at 6 months.
Well, I'd
Cows
be
can
fine if
live
someone ate my dead
cows
body.
cows can live to be 20. The dairy cows are the longest lived ones. We unalive them at 6 years old. They can live to be 20. We don't wait for the animals to reach their natural end. We unalive them as babies. And chickens, for example, they're weeks old when we send them to the slaughterhouse. Many of them still peeping, even though they look like adult chickens. They're babies. Chickens can live to be 8 years old or more. Weeks. So this idea that people are waiting for the animals to pass is a fairy tale. But even if they were doing that, Breeding someone into existence just to be used is slavery. That's the immoral
Right,
part.
so do you think humans are slaves?
They were slaves, yeah. We've enslaved
Yeah.
humans, yes.
But right now we are being breeded into history just to be alive for no reason.
Do you know what breeding is?
Yes.
What is breeding?
It's basically just coming into the world
No.
without
So what
proper
we're doing,
reason.
I don't think you even understand how these animals
You
are
didn't let
coming
me
into
finish my
existence.
sentence.
Because you don't know what you're talking about. Okay? We force these
Turn off my
animals,
mic.
we force these animals to come together. Okay? They aren't coming together on their own. We overproduce these animals. It's our fault that they exist. They are mutated. They're what we call domesticated. That means
It's
we
our fault
bred
humans
out.
exist as well.
Honey, please stop. I'm talking about these.
Me.
Okay, I'm going to give you one more chance. If you can't listen, I'm going to move on.
You can't listen to me.
Yeah,
You don't.
I know. Okay, so on with my point, because obviously you can't listen, but now you have to. My point is, we're talking about the sentient animals that you're using and that you don't have to. Those cows, pigs, chickens, doesn't matter how quality of life they had, they're sentient beings just like you. That means they don't want to be imprisoned, just like you. And even if you think that you're enslaved right now, do you think it's moral for that? Or would you prefer it to stop? And if you would prefer it to stop, you as the oppressor to the animal, why are you not providing them the same mercy that you demand? Do you see how you're just being a hypocrite? You're saying someone else is being mean to me, so it's okay that I be mean to somebody else. That's not logical. Aaron. Hey, are you over 18?
I am.
Okay. How do you morally justify using animals?
Do you have pets?
Sorry?
Do you have pets?
Well, first, can you answer my question and then I'll answer yours?
I don't see how it's different than having pets.
Well, I would actually agree with you that if you go out and buy an animal to just have as a toy, that is exploitation and that is not vegan. It's another
Oh,
thing.
you don't have any pets?
I don't have any pets, but I have a companion. I went to a place where animals are kept that have been captured out of off the streets, and I said, well, my partner said who had been here the longest, and that's who we went home with. So I rescued somebody, yes, that needed my help.
So what's the difference between rescuing it for self-preservation and
Well, I can answer it
rescuing
this
it for
way.
companionship?
What if I like to just adopt children to use as slave labor? Is that
That
moral?
happens all the time around the world.
Sure. Is it moral?
No,
Right.
but I don't see the
So what's
difference
the
between.
difference then, right? I'm saying adopting. So what's the difference between having a child and having a child slave labor? Can't speak today. What's the difference?
I don't see a difference, but I mean,
You don't see a
pet
difference?
ownership's no
There's
different either.
there's exploitation involved. If I'm adopting a child, it should be because I want to care for someone that needs my help, right?
And you should eat because you're starving to death, not because you're
So when I'm
feeding your
taking
hunger.
care, okay, now you're pivoting already. We were talking about pets and companions, and now you're pivoting to eating already. So do you actually want answers, or are you just up here to fight?
A bit of both.
Well, I'm gonna move on because I don't care to fight. So I'll finish my thought with the companions, okay? So I'm here to take care of somebody else that needs my help. Just like if I adopted a child, it should be because I want to provide them care. And it's viewed as immoral for me to use them as slave labor, right? That's not why you should take someone home to care for them. You should take them home because they need your help and you want to give them a rich life. Just like if you were them. Put yourself in the victim's perspective. What would you want if you were the one being oppressed? It's that simple. Hey, Bug, are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. How do you morally justify using animals?
Well, I mean, okay. I am strongly opposed to all, like, I'm trying to think of the word, like, the word for, like, largely concentrated animal, like, breeding, like slaughterhouses, basically. I'm strongly opposed to those. I believe that using animal products and consumption of animals, I believe that it should be used in small farms and like locally sourced and things like that, and things like immorally sourced. I believe that the justification for eating animals or using their products strictly comes from a dietary standpoint. It's just like a need for protein and things like that. But I do believe that we need to move on from the downright inhumane forms of getting it that we have right now.
So you think, so is it just that we need protein from them? And is that what you're saying? Is that why we need
Yeah,
to
it's
do
just
it?
that we need protein from them. That's really it. And I mean, I feel like we should cut.
Are there other sources
I
that
feel
we
like
could get protein
I feel like there's
from?
other ways that we can get.
Is there a big delay?
Yeah, but they're not as efficient as consuming meat. I think there is. Yeah.
Is there a delay? Okay, gotcha. Okay. It kind of distracted me because I was like, why am I talking over you? I don't mean to be. Okay, let's repeat what you said again. The delay is just
I
so
think
distracting.
that we need to cut down on eating meat, but I feel like we need to, I feel like we need to eat meat, but we need to cut down on how much we do eat.
Okay, so all plants have protein in them. As long as you get your total calories in a day, you'll get all your needed protein. But if you want to check, I do have the vegan Dailey Dozen, easy checklist to make sure you get everything you need in a day.
Okay.
Another great resource, if you wanted to make high protein meals, is to go to like an AI search engine and type in, make me a high protein vegan meal with whatever needs that you specifically want. You can have it make a week's worth of meals. And sometimes it makes mistakes, right? It's a stupid new system. There's a free app called Cronometer.
Yeah, it's an AI. It's
right. But you can use Cronometer. You can plug those meals into Cronometer, and it'll break down the macro and micro nutrients of that meal, so you can make sure you get everything. Yeah. So there's resources to figure out
I get that.
how to get all.
Would you say that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Would you say that being a vegan is more morally justifiable than being a vegetarian?
Yeah, vegetarians are still using milk and eggs, and it depends on. Do you know what happens for dairy cows to produce milk?
I do. Yeah, I've done a lot of research into the dairy industry, and I feel like if you're getting dairy from like a locally sourced farm where they're not like pinned up and they have 2 feet to move in 10 years.
So
I feel like if you're getting it from like a free range place where it's like stress-free cows.
Yeah. Even if you go to a farm that's like super nice, the cow is a mammal. To produce milk, she must be pregnant. So who do you think decides when she gets pregnant, the farmer or the cow?
The farmer.
And who decides who she can even mate with if he doesn't do it artificially? The farmer or the cow?
That's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, and then
the farmer decides all of it. I mean, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah. But even worse. So after 9 months, she gives birth. What do you think happens to the baby?
Depending on the farm, I know a couple 4-H people that keep cows and if that keep the babies. But I mean, typically they usually just get sold off to slaughterhouses.
Yeah. So
but some farmers that I do know do take care of the calves.
So typically they'll keep the females and they'll sell off the males, if not just unalive them the moment they're born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is that fair to the cows?
No, it's not. I just have to say thank you for. I think I'm trying to be respectful, and thank you for being respectful. Because I've had a couple like discussions with people, and I've just become really disrespectful. And so thank you.
I can be disrespectful too, so I would beware. It's when people are honest that I will be genuinely honest with you. But if people come up here just wanting to fight, I'll meet their energy sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's stopping you from living vegan?
I get that, but yeah, I mean, I feel like we need. What's stopping me from living vegan is I live in kind of like a food desert. It's hard for me to access, good vegetables and things like that. So I have to eat, meats and things like that. But I am trying to cut down on my meat, the amount of meat I'm eating. Like I don't think I could. I feel like I could live a vegan lifestyle, but not in where I'm living right now. But I feel like I can cut down on the amount of meat I am eating.
Okay, so let's say you could, just hypothetically. And would you then, if you found all your resources around you, would you then find it to be a moral obligation to live vegan? Would you find it to be a moral obligation to live vegan?
I wouldn't say it's I wouldn't say it's like a moral obligation, but I'd say it's strongly encouraged to make sure, because of all this stuff. Like if you look at Brazil and the rainforest, it's terrible. Like they're cutting down the entire Amazon to build beef concentration camps.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's strong. You should be strongly encouraged to go vegan, but I feel like some people just can't.
Well, so like I said, in the hypothetical I was painting, just for you, if you had all your resources that you could live and thrive vegan, would you find it then for you to be a moral obligation to live vegan?
I would, yeah. I might.
Okay.
I don't think I could go full vegan. Like I feel like I've had really good vegan food. Like I've gone up to big cities, and I went to vegan restaurants, and I'm like, how is this different? This is really good. But I feel like I feel like I'd be mostly vegan, but like maybe like once a month I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna have a steak.
Okay, so what justifies once a month taking the life of a cow for your taste pleasure? And again, we're talking about the scenario where you have all access to all the other resources. So what justifies that once a month eating, taking the life of the cow who wanted to live just so you can taste their muscle?
That is a good question.
That's just what we asked ourselves, like, if I were that cow, even though I'm not thinking about the same things as like me as a human, right? They have different priorities. And, you could argue that they're not the same cognition as us. They're comparable to like our 4-year-olds, in fact. Even if I was that cognition, all sentient beings want to avoid harm. And we all have this personal interest in continuing to have more experiences, right? So if I was that cow and I wanted to live, I would hope my oppressor would have mercy on me, knowing that they don't need to use me.
Yeah. Can I say something real quick?
Please, Lori, please.
I was just gonna say, hi, I'm Lori. I was just gonna say too that for every one animal you don't eat, you're saving over 300 animals. Just one person, by not eating meat, you're saving over 380 cows. And that's a major thing. If you think about it.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, one person going vegan from an omnivore diet can save 100 to 300 animals a year. Because think of how many times a day you're consuming animals. And think of someone who goes to another country, right, and saves dogs from the dog meat market. If they saved 10 dogs, that person is viewed as like a hero, right?
And I'm involved in that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone who's saving 10 dogs from the meat market is a hero, someone transitioning to a vegan diet is saving 10 times that, if not 30 times that. That's a big number. So each one of those animals is like a dog.
I feel like it.
Each one has a subjective experience, right? They care what happens to them. 100 individuals standing behind you, without each one not having to go through that system. It's a lot.
I do feel like if you have the resources, you should go vegan. I do feel like that is what you should do. But I also feel like for people that don't have that option, I don't feel like
I'm only talking to you.
there is I don't feel like the pressure should be put on them, like, because I mean, like,
I'm not talking to them though. I'm talking to you.
So what? Sorry.
Oh, I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you.
Yeah. I mean,
So I only want your perspective. I understand that people have a lot of obstacles, and that's understandable. The veganism isn't even about your circumstances. It's about what you want to support. There are vegans who have to cross their principles in order to survive. They have to take medication that they know was tested on someone until that individual died, or unalived, right? That I would still advocate for that vegan to take that medicine so that they can advocate for those that they're now oppressing to stay alive. So you need to understand what you're doing, even if it's in a survival situation, right? That's what veganism is. Veganism is recognizing that animals aren't a thing. They're a someone, recognizing their sentience, and that sentience deserves respect. Just like we demand. Like, I demand my sentience
I agree with
be
that. I agree
respected.
with this.
Go ahead. I forget about the delay.
I agree with that, and I feel like along with that, it's all good. I believe that along with that, I feel like I'm involved. I volunteer at a couple nonprofits to support environmental protections and conservation of animals. I feel like along with the veganism movement, people need to be going out, volunteering at nonprofits, going out picketing, things like that. There needs to be some sort of political push to not just support the animals in the slaughterhouses, and I feel like that's really important, but also the animals out, because like if you look at the public lands bills that are being passed, they're trying to sell that public land, and if that public land gets sold, the animals no longer have a home.
Oh, yeah. So what's interesting, there's a study called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. I know that's a lot. But I think it was in the Lancet. I don't remember where it was produced. But if you look up the study, they go over thousands of farms in hundreds of countries. And they found that we're actually using most of our land, 83% of our agricultural land, to raise for animals. So if we stopped using animals, we could feed the population and then some on only on a third to a quarter of our ag land. And that means that we could have room for those animals to live. We could have more parks, right? We could give land back to the original stewards that were living there. So that's huge. If we want to care about the environment, we should stop using animals.
Exactly. I think we're kind of on the same boat where I believe that I don't believe we need to completely stop using animals, but I believe that we need to tone it down 1,000,000%.
Well, even one individual, right?
I believe that we're kind of on this same
let me paint an example. I love puppies. Okay, I love puppies. So I go to a shelter, right, and I rescue a puppy, and I love this puppy, and we're together. We're best friends. Time goes on, and this puppy gets bigger, right? That's as puppies do. They become dogs. So when this dog is bigger, I'm starting to realize, I like this dog better as a puppy. So I come up with this idea that I'm going to take my dog into the woods, and while they're prancing around being happy, I pew them in the back of the head, and I go get myself a new puppy. Is that moral? That's moral?
No, it's not.
Okay. So that's just one individual, right? It's not about mass puppy farms. It's just one individual that I even rescued from a shelter. So why is that immoral?
Yeah. But I mean, like,
What if I only do it once?
why is that immoral?
Yeah.
It's because you're taking the life of.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's because you're taking the life of an animal, but you're not going to eat that dog.
What if
What
I
I
do?
think about it is like, if you look at if you do eat it for your own survival, I would say that eating a
not
dog
survival, just
for your own survival
just taste pleasure. I could go look
is
and try to
moral.
find. I could find a grocery store and get beans and rice.
That's immoral, yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying that that's the same
Yeah,
as
that's
the
immoral.
cows.
I believe that. Okay, that's fair. I believe that I would agree with that, but I believe if you look at like stewardship, like since I'm gonna take it back. So the Native Americans, they would go out and they would hunt one bison,
What you're gonna say is
and that bison
a
would
generalization.
feed a group of.
What you're saying is a generalization, right? Like you don't know what all Native, unless you've been studying Native American history, right? Each nation is different. So right now,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that all. I'm not saying that this is all what all nations do. I'm not saying that this is what all nations do. I'm just providing like an example.
Yes.
If I was going to
It's
provide
fine
a
to say
specific
that
nation,
cultures,
it would
there
probably
are-
be.
There are cultures, right, that maybe put more effort into respecting who they're exploiting, right? But survival mode is different than when you have abundance near you, right? When you have options, that's different. If you're in survival mode,
Yeah.
if I was a vegan, right? If I'm living in those nations that don't have options and I wanted to go vegan, I would be looking in every aspect of my life that I can avoid their exploitation and do so. Either go without or find an alternative. You know? Obviously I would survive, but I would only take
Okay.
what I
Yeah.
only needed. And as soon as I didn't need to be in that situation, which I would be
You
I'd
would
be
survive, but you
begging
wouldn't
for it.
thrive.
Well, it depends on what's available to me, right? Like if I really have nothing, then maybe I'm not thriving.
I'm just saying,
in that
like in that
moment.
situation you're talking about, like where you're
Sure.
like.
Well, for me personally, right? Because veganism is a personal principle stance. In survival mode, I'm never gonna hold that against somebody.
Yeah.
But if you have the option, if you're healthy and fine and you have options, you should be living vegan. You should be wanting to live vegan even if you don't have the options and you have health issues, right? Because if you were the victim, you would hope there was somebody advocating for you on the outside. So even in your situation, let's say you do have to eat an animal to live out there, what would you want as that animal that you now have to, like, what would you say to them?
I would tell them, but if that animal was me, if my life was to be taken, I would want them to, number one, respect it, number two, use all of it, and that's what I feel like.
Wouldn't you ask
what we're
them to
missing in
find some
today's
other
like
way?
whole like food culture. I believe that if you are. I would, yeah, but I believe that if they're not going to, I would ask them for number one to respect my whatever, and number two is to use everything that I have, and I believe that that's what we need to do if we're not going to move on. I believe that we need to find ways to use every part of the animal. We need to find ways to
We need to find a way to stop oppressing
find
someone.
ways to better respect them by giving
You're
them more
just
space.
talking about welfare, and all welfare does is make you feel better about oppressing someone. That's all it does. It's for you, not them. They want their freedom. They don't want to be used. They want you to desperately look for anything else besides them. They don't want you to be like, well, oh well. They want you to be like, I really don't want to do this. I want to find something else. That's what the animals want. They want to live, just like you would, right? Aliens come down and they claim that they live a certain lifestyle, right? They could probably change how they live. They could figure it out. It may take a month to figure out how to eat differently, but they could figure it out. Wouldn't you want them to take that chance to try to not use you? Like, take that effort?
I mean, yeah, I would.
Okay, so
but
you're
I
the
don't
oppressor right now.
I mean, my individual effort is different than the. My individual effort is different than the. Oh,
Your
sorry, I just got
individual
something popped on my
effort
phone.
is all that matters.
Okay.
It's true. That's all that
Like,
matters.
do you think it's okay to unnecessarily exploit others for somebody's pleasure?
No, I don't. I don't think it's okay.
So you don't believe that there's any sort
But
of welfare that we can apply
I
that
believe.
makes it acceptable?
Are you saying? Wait.
Or you don't think that there's
Are you saying that I don't believe that? Or are you
No, I'm
saying I do
asking you
believe
if
that?
you think that there's any kind of welfare that we can apply that changes that. Like
I do think that there
any
is a sort
kind
of
of
welfare that we
like
can apply.
so when we're talking about exploiting somebody else for pleasure, you think
An
that there
example?
is any kind of exploitation that anybody does for pleasure?
Oh, somebody else. Okay.
Any kind of exploitation, right? Animal consumption's exploitation,
I don't think
horseback riding's exploitation, stuff like slavery or SA are different types of exploitation. So I'm asking you, like, when we talk about exploitation, do you think it's okay to exploit somebody for your own pleasure?
I don't think it's okay to exploit someone for your own pleasure.
So
Personally,
if you don't think it's okay,
I do
then
believe that I should
logically
go on
there's
a,
no
on a vegan
welfarism
diet.
that can. Well, I'm saying, like, so if you don't think it's okay, then logically there's no welfarism that can be applied to that. But you realize that's what
My
you're
argument is
advocating
that
for, right?
personally, I believe if you have the ability to go on a vegan diet, you should.
Do you shop at a grocery
But
store?
people don't have that opportunity.
Most people do. Do you shop at a grocery store?
I do shop at a grocery store.
Are you a vegan?
I do shop at a grocery store.
Are you a vegan?
Not right now, because I live in a house. I live in a house with 4 different people that refuse to go vegan.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter what other people do. You're hinging your ethical ideals on what other people are doing. That's a weird take, dude.
Okay.
I'm
Whatever you
curious.
say,
Wait,
bro.
wait a second. But it sounds like you changed your story. You said that you were living in a food desert, and now you say that you shop at a grocery store.
I have. There is one grocery store near me, but it sells like really like I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Really not good food.
Do you know
there.
what a
It's
food
like
desert is?
yes, I know what a food desert is.
Okay, can you explain it?
A food desert is a place where there's an absence of food, where there is a minute market or something like that.
It's absence of nutrition within a certain distance, and that criteria changes for both
Absence of
rural
nutrition.
and
Yes.
and urban. So there are plenty of people in urban communities that technically live in a food desert, and that difference is like 5 miles in an urban environment versus I think it's like 30 miles within a rural environment to the nearest available store. Now, places that are food deserts, they don't just lack nutrition, as in you can get animal products and get more nutrition versus plant-based products. They lack in specific nutrition, whether you're consuming animal or plant-based products. So regardless, if you live in a food desert or not, you still have available nutrition for what's available in that area. Like beans and rice and like tubers are some of the most inexpensive, high density caloric crops that you can consume, right? And they are abundant at any store. Like dry beans, like you could find them in like at my local gas station because I live in a legitimate food desert, extremely rural. Like you can find bags of dried beans or like sacks of potatoes that people grow locally. But the only animal food you can find is processed food, which is really common for quote unquote food deserts.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it's kind of an irrelevant talking point. Most people have access to stores and are buying their products from stores of some kind.
Hmm.
So, like, I guess the question is, you said that you think people that have the availability should go vegan. Do you understand what veganism is?
Yeah.
It's the abstinence of
It's
unnecessary
the not eating any animal
no, it's the
products.
abstinence of unnecessary exploitation of other sentient beings. Right? So anybody can technically
Okay.
live a vegan lifestyle if they are doing their best to avoid unnecessary
Yeah.
exploitation. And that might look different across
If they're just
models,
okay.
but most people have access to
Okay.
comparable nutrition within their region, whether they consume an animal or plant inclusive diet. And the poorest civilizations on the planet rely on
Hmm.
primarily plant nutrition.
Yeah.
So why aren't you vegan, or why
Um,
aren't you going to go vegan?
I'm planning on trying to go vegan as best as I can as soon as possible. But I feel like you said, individual efforts what matters. And I believe that some people cannot provide that individual effort.
That's fine. We're just talking about you and your choices. That's why my prompt just says you.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm planning on trying to. Yeah, yeah. I just want to. I'm planning on going. Planning on trying to limit my intake of meat products and try to wane myself into a more vegan lifestyle slowly. Because I feel like if I just go right now nothing, it's gonna like mess up my diet, and like things like that. So I'm
Well,
gonna try to wane myself into it.
so what I would suggest, because what you're suggesting are baby steps, and if you were the oppressed, I'm sure you would want your oppressor to just stop, right? You wouldn't want them to take baby steps and still use you. You just want it to stop.
Hmm.
So what I suggest is go check out my resources. Did you say you've watched Dominion? So I would recommend watching Dominion.
I have not.
Okay. I would watch Dominion. It's free on YouTube. Dairy Scary is only 5 minutes if you don't want to spend the 2 hours. This just
Hmm.
shows you standard practice of all animals, well, most animals that we use. And Dairy Scary just shows you what's
Yeah.
inherent with dairy. These are the motivators. If I hadn't
Yeah.
seen these motivators, I personally don't think I would have had the motivation to change how I live my life. But when I wanted to do it because I didn't want to be a part of that anymore, it
Hmm.
wasn't a sacrifice. It was me looking through my life quickly because I was like, I don't want to support this. And it took me, like I said, a month to figure out my stuff. And then after that, it was just
Yeah.
repeating my habits. So it's not as big of a change as you think it is. That's why I suggest go to like
Yeah.
nutritionfacts.org. Look up that vegan Daily Dozen as well. Just see how easy it is to really get everything you need on a whole food plant-based diet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, what really kind of got me, like, I took a couple of years ago, I took AP Environmental Science, and we had like a whole unit about concentrated animal feeding centers, and that just
Yeah.
entirely flipped
But
the switch in my
see,
brain. I was like, I
that's
can't do this
it's
anymore. Like,
only
I need
environmental.
to like start like limiting.
It's only environmental, right though? Because you're saying it's okay to still do this
It,
to them.
we
Do you understand where factory farming came from? It came from the small farms. Small farms are not
it came
efficient.
from
You can go ahead.
yeah. They're not, but that I mean that's just like I'm saying that was where the switch flipped in my head where I was like I'm gonna try to start waning off of this and try to
You
become
don't need
more.
to wean yourself.
I,
You
I feel
can
like it
do
doesn't
it.
matter. I feel like as long as you have the what I'm saying is I feel like it doesn't matter where the switch gets flipped. It's just
It
the fact
does.
that people realize that we need to stop doing this.
It
It doesn't matter if
matters.
it's moral or
Every
environmental.
single one
It
matters.
matters that people stop.
Every single time you pick up that package, every time you accept it at a friend's house, That's a demand for the next individual to go through the system in your name. You can make the switch, but you need to not want to hurt animals. You're still thinking about your pleasures. You're not thinking about what they want.
Yeah.
Okay, well, go watch Dominion. If you watch that, please reach out to me. I'm going to move on, but I really want you to watch Dominion. I feel like that's the missing puzzle. Okay. Please reach out to me after you watch it, okay? Yeah. I'd love to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you for being Thank you for talking to me and being thank you for talking to me and being respectful. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, thank you.
All right. You have a great day too, Bug.
Host, you have four in the queue, so I would start from the bottom. Bottom up for the people who've been waiting.
Thank you.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, Ozark. Thank you for being up here, by the way. And Lori, good morning to both of you.
Thanks for inviting me up.
Yeah, I love having you guys up here. Thank you, Lori, for bringing them up, too. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. All right. Mason, Rose?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, sorry if I butchered it. What is it? I want to be able to... Royce? Because of the E?
Rose. It's just Rose.
Just Rose?
Like a flower.
Okay. Got it. Okay. I was like, that does look like Rose, but it's different. I like it. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Right on. So how do you morally justify using animals?
So, this is a preface, I guess. I think that the vegan lifestyle is like a morally, ethically, all encompassing. Like it is a correct thing to do, and like there's no faults in it for sure. I guess like I'm not vegan. My justification like is I think too many times we do almost like a personification of animals. Like we put ourselves in their shoes, and that's maybe not a completely fair thing to do. Like you talk about like a dairy cow, like its lifespan is maybe 20 years or something, and they live to be 6. And like, how would that feel if you were killed at 40 or 30 or whatever that would be? So
if they can live to be 20, that would mean like 25 in human years.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the life expectancy of your area.
If I inquire really quick about something he mentioned before we move on, you said like essentially we're, I guess for lack of better terms, anthropomorphizing non-human animals. I just want to mention it's not that we're anthropomorphizing human animals in the sense that we're saying they're the same as us, but we're sentient beings, correct?
Yes.
Animals are sentient beings, correct?
Yes.
So we're comparing that they are also sentient and experience reality as well. It might not be the same that we do because we're humans and every other animal experiences it different from each other, but that we are all sentient, and that sentient, like we should value the fact that we're all sentient and extend that same moral consideration. That was all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I mean, like the point of sentience is it rings true, but I mean, like the extent that it goes to, though. I mean, you say you have a companion, which I think is just sort of a morally high ground way of saying that you have a pet. You don't want to say that you have a pet, whether you rescued it or not.
I'm just clear on my language. It's okay if you call her a pet. It's fine. But the issue is that when we say pet, we think of like an accessory, right? Whereas companion makes it more clear that she's like a resident in here, and I just care for her. So I'm just trying to be clear with my language. You can call her a pet, but I didn't buy her for my entertainment. I got her because we had the resources available that we could care for somebody, and we went somewhere where, they collect animals off the street, and we picked who had been there the longest to give them the care they needed.
Sure. I just think like if you want to like continue with what I call a personification, like.
You mean
what you did was
anthropomorphizing?
Yeah, sure.
It's not that. It's actually evidence-based. We have science that animals experience subjective feelings like suffering, joy. They look forward to things. We have evidence of this. There's the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness and the New York Declaration of Consciousness. And they go over thousands of behavioral studies and even looking at their anatomy. And we find that they're much more like us than we thought. And they experience life very much similar.
So if they're much more like us, you know, I would say, like, you look at the experience of the dog that you had, and it's like you bought it for money, and then you bring it into your home and you feed it the exact same food every day and keep it inside, and you only let it out when you feel it's convenient for you. Like, that seems like
a great point.
If you did that for a human, that would be torture.
No,
like, that would be absolute torture to a human.
Mason, people do this for humans. There are humans that will forever always need to be cared for, and guess what? There's going to be a routine. They're going to be taken out to the park sometimes, and they're going to be taken to the grocery store with their caregiver sometimes, right? Like, it would be the same life. The issue with domesticated animals is that we've bred out many of their natural instincts. That's why it's irresponsible to take a dog into the middle of the woods and just let them go. They've not been raised in that environment. They don't know how to survive that. High chances they're not going to. Some do, but not most. So it's our responsibility, since we've handicapped these animals, to take care of them until they pass, and don't make them procreate anymore, because that's just perpetuating more individuals that are dependent on human care, right? That's not fair to them.
Yeah, I mean, and so, sure, we can justify, you know, spaying and neutering.
Do you understand what I just said, though?
I do. Yeah.
So I'm caring about them with their best interest in mind, just like if I was caring for someone who couldn't ever leave my house, right, that had to be cared for all the time. Caring for them also in their best interest, right? Doing what would be best for them. Taking care of them, protecting them. Do you see?
But your dog also could leave the house. Like, if you have a
Mason, a child could leave my house. You're not listening. You're so fixated that animals need to be out in the wild, when we've literally it'd be like taking their arms and legs off of them and telling them to go survive, right?
I think you're missing the point. I'm not saying that you need to let your dog out and go
You
forever.
should not release domesticated animals into the wild.
You're not saying that. You're not listening.
Mason, they are like children. Just because my dog wants to eat chocolate doesn't mean I'm going to let them. Do you understand? That's why I'm not going to let them outside all the time. There's things out there that may unalive them. I will protect my resident that I'm caring for. That's part of my duties as their steward. So you're trying to make it sound like I'm imprisoning them, when really this system has created an over amount of animals that we cannot care for, right? I've taken on the duty of caring for one until they're done living. That's all I'm doing. I'm caring for someone who needs my help. I don't need a toy to entertain me. I have computers and electronics that can do that. Right? I don't need someone to entertain me. I'm taking care of someone. There's the difference. I'm not exploiting someone. You are. You're not vegan. You go and demand that animals lose their head. Why are you demanding that?
Can I interject really quick?
Well, let me have him answer his question, then I don't mind you taking over. What justifies taking their head off, Mason? Are you there? Oh, weird. He's not on. Are you trying to drop? Your image is black on my screen.
Oh, it's not on this side, but drop him, and if he wants to come back up, I'll let you know.
I'll drop him. If he wants to come back, he can. Ozark, go ahead. I was going to say, go ahead and ask your thing. Maybe he's in the chat.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if he thinks that the solution is just like all these animals stay in unlife shelters and then their lives be ended. Like,
exactly.
Instead of like saving their lives when they want to live. Like, it's a very weird take. That was all I wanted to ask.
Yeah. Oh, you brought him back up. Okay.
Yeah, somebody muted me and nobody unmuted me, so
it didn't say you were muted on my end. Like,
yeah,
I kept hitting it to invite you, but it said you were.
Oh,
not
everybody
muted.
in the chat said that it was muted, but
okay,
that's cool.
Yeah, I know I didn't mute you.
Okay.
But Anna, Vegan Stoner Lady asked you a question. I don't know if you heard it.
So the question
Yeah,
was,
she was not muted.
what justifies you taking the heads off of animals for your taste pleasure?
I want to circle back for just like 1 second.
No. I don't want to circle back to companions because you're deflecting from your own actions. I already told you what I'm doing. Now tell me what you're doing. Why
what justifies
are you?
taking the life of an animal? I think that
For you.
if you can, for me, I think that if you can give, so I obviously am not cool with factory farms, like the worst conditions of stuff. Like I don't think that you
Why?
can just go and whip and lash an animal.
Why not?
Because I think it's morally and ethically wrong.
Why?
However, I think that
Why is it ethically wrong?
because they're performing harm on something for no gain for anybody else is what's wrong. So you can't.
They're
you
gonna
can't
eat
whip a
them.
cow.
We're gonna eat them. They're beating them up, but we're gonna eat them afterwards.
The beating is an unnecessary step.
But what does it matter? What if they claimed it made it more tender? Is it moral? Okay. Why?
No, I don't think that anybody would be cool with that if that's
Why
how
is
that
it not
works.
moral? Tell me why.
We don't need to like go through these basic steps to
I
try
need
to
to know
like
why.
drop
I
into your
need to
point.
know your. This is what's telling me what your principles are. Why is it immoral for us to beat the animals before we unalive them? Why? I can tell you an answer if you can't answer it.
Because there's no benefit. There's no justifiable
I just
result.
told you it makes it
can't-
tastier.
It doesn't. That's like a fake thing. You just made up
It
a
makes
fake
it
thing.
tastier.
What a stupid point.
Is
Let's
it
talk
worth
about a
it
real
now?
point.
What if it did make it tastier? Would it make it okay then?
What if we all flew? What if we
Look,
didn't have?
The
What if,
thing
what if
is,
we
you're being really cowardly. I did mute you. You're not answering my question. Why is it immoral to do that to the animal? Is it because they're suffering? Is it because a sentient being? I can't unmute you. It keeps telling me that you're already unmuted, so I can't unmute you for some reason. There.
Yeah, but you have others waiting if he's gonna have a problem.
I think I will move on. Yeah, we're done.
Okay, I'll bring one up for you.
Okay.
Do you know Estropus? Do you know Estropus? I think it's saying.
I don't know. I don't know that
Okay.
name off the top of my head, at least.
Okay, he's friends with you and a couple other vegans.
There are people I'm friends with that I'm like, I don't remember us meeting because we don't talk often. I don't remember all the vegans or non-vegans. Bink, are you over 18?
Hi, yeah, I'm 36.
All right.
So
What?
A little over 18.
Yeah, right on. I'm 37, so it's all good. I'm glad you talked to another adult.
I just wanted to say the guy that was on here earlier. Oh Lord, sorry. Corgis. The guy that was on here earlier, I'm Native American, and he spoke for our cultures.
Yeah,
and I just wanted to say, as a Native person, I wanted to have the opportunity to speak for our cultures. I'm Choctaw Okla, registered Halito, and we farmed and gathered and did subsistence hunting, which is a lot different than factory farming. Factory farming, whether it's vegetables or animals, uses ridiculous amounts of water, land, and factory farming, I believe, is a huge issue. And I will say, go ahead, I'm sorry.
You'd be surprised, actually. Factory farming for both plants and animals is more efficient with resources because they're concentrating everything. That's why they do it.
Okay. Well, that may be so. And if
The
so, I
animals
stand
get
corrected
to
on that.
slaughter very quickly. They get to their
Right.
slaughter weight
Well,
much faster.
if that is the case, I stand corrected on that, and I apologize.
No,
I'm not
it's
trying
fine.
to spread misinformation. I just
It's
wanted
all
an
good.
opportunity to speak for my people instead of having like a white man say with a broad stroke that we all did this or that. But
Yeah, sorry, we don't agree with people tokenizing other
yeah,
communities
and I appreciate that, and y'all seem super nice, but I think maybe we do need another mod in this chat because we've got some very racist behavior going on in here.
Oh.
But and I know that you can't like keep your eyes on chat and
Yeah.
I'm trying to
requests,
watch
and that's a lot.
I
but
try. It's hard to keep up when
it
it
is hard to
moves
keep it,
fast.
but we're watching it.
yeah, I see Well, for me, it was a Kieran person and like a Stropas or something. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to give my 2 cents, and I'm not going to hold you up because I know you got a big line. But but y'all have a lovely day, and yeah.
I
You
appreciate
too.
you sharing your perspective because it is important to hear everyone's perspective.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being up here. Unless you want to talk for a minute, like I don't mind. Okay, never mind. Everyone is welcome to the table to talk about ethics, despite your situation. So I should have actually continued. I would have loved to continue that conversation. I'm not muted. Okay, good. All right. Well, let's bring up Estropa. And also, by the way, thank you guys for keeping an eye on the chat. I do struggle at keeping up with it because I get so focused on who I'm talking to. So I do appreciate you guys looking out.
I try, but it's also hard
I
when you have a
mean,
lot of guests talking at the same time.
yep,
Or I mean, in
exactly.
the comments.
Yeah. Well, if ever, I don't know, if someone can get my attention, it's hard for me to sometimes, maybe if I move this over here, because I'm using
Yeah,
my desktop. Go
tag
ahead.
any of the mods if you notice somebody is like
Yeah.
being
You
I
ready?
don't tolerate that. Yes, please, Lori.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm not sure. This could be a kid, but I'll keep my finger next to the button, okay?
Okay.
Hi, not a
Hi.
kid.
Okay. Are you over
Thank
18?
goodness for that.
Yeah, I'm 21.
Right on. Okay, cool. All right. So how do you morally justify using animals?
So, I'll definitely answer you for sure, but I like to preface this with I was like a PETA volunteer. I always listen to Earthling Ed. I've seen all the documentaries, so there won't
Okay.
be any bad faith arguments from me.
Right on.
My only thing is like trying to convince carnists they have a moral obligation to be vegan doesn't have objective reasoning behind it, from my view. Unless that person who consumes animal holds your same ethical like values, you can try to find like hypocrisy in their views. But I'd argue most people hold hypocritical views anyways. For example, if you say murder is bad, and I'd like to preface this by I'm pro-choice, then we could get into the abortion argument. And I
just
feel
say
like
schmurder, by the way.
Huh?
Oh, I was just trying. I didn't know where to interject, but say schmurder is TikTok rules.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's weird. Also, the K word, we say unalive.
Okay.
Not that you said it.
So, yeah, if you were going to define schmurder, it could get very hypocritical with a pro-choice standpoint. And I feel like just pointing out hypocrisies in people's ethical framework doesn't necessarily make their framework less valid. I'm kind of coming from a moral relativist position with this.
Go ahead, Ozark.
I was going to ask, can you tell me what veganism means and what it entails?
I believe it is trying from a position as practical and possible to reduce animal suffering. Sorry, I'm a little nervous to be up on live.
No,
so.
it's okay. You were pretty close, but the key word that's missing there and was substituted, it's not suffering or death, it's exploitation, right? So it's a stance that aims to exclude wherever practical and possible all forms of exploitation. So when we have these ethical discussions, I think people are honestly like generally against unnecessary exploitation. They're just not aware of it. But when it comes to concepts like abortion, it doesn't matter which side you stand on. It has nothing to do with exploitation unless, we're talking about a mother that decides she doesn't want to host the fetus anymore, then that fetus is exploiting her. Right? So it's not really a valid discussion when it comes to talking about vegan ethics, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so my only qualm with that is just when it comes to exploitation, I feel like if we're coming from a just ethical, I guess, lens, and me being a moral relativist and how I see it, it's exploitation can be in certain cases permissible, I guess.
Sure. Nobody is arguing that like exploitation like can't happen when it's necessary. We're specifically addressing unnecessary exploitation of the others.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really see this as a moral issue. I kind of just see this as people with their subjective emotions seeing something like
Respectfully, can you explain what exploitation means?
I can't remember the exact definition, but I'd say kind of like taking advantage of somebody
Yeah,
to
it's
and
using
making them perform something they can't consent to do.
well, yeah, it's using somebody unfairly to benefit yourself, and there are various forms of exploitation. It's not just like exclusive to and like consuming animal products. Like there are many forms across the animal kingdom, including human, both necessary and unnecessary exploitation, right? Circumstances that can be used. So, if you don't think that it's really an ethical issue, can I ask you, do you think it is then justifiable to exploit somebody for one's own pleasure?
This is where it gets pretty hard because I feel like there are some situations to where it would be okay and some to where it wouldn't be. Like for instance, in the United States, prisoners or people incarcerated can work for wages and they could use it for commissary, whatever, but it's below minimum wage. Now, do I think that that could be considered exploitation? Yes, I do. But if they are consenting to that, do I think it's necessarily wrong? No. So it's just
Yeah,
gray area I have trouble with.
does um, handle prisoner labor personally, but that didn't really directly answer the question. Do you think, like, just basically, do you think it would be okay for somebody to just go out and decide to exploit somebody else because it makes them feel good?
I would have negative emotions towards that, but I don't believe in objective morality, so I
But
can't
you
just
don't have a
say no.
preference? You don't have a preference?
I
Well, I
definitely
just
do, but I know that my preference is
so I know we're
subjective.
talking about, yeah, everybody's preference is going to be subjectively different. I'm talking about yours specifically, right? Within your own moral framework, based upon actions that you would determine to be right for yourself to do or wrong for yourself to do every day you wake up to when you go to bed, do you think it would be morally permissible for anybody, like according to your own ethical principles that you have, established, do you think it would be acceptable to unnecessarily exploit somebody else because it makes somebody feel good?
I mean, as a general rule, no, but there's a lot of general rules in my morality that I'm willing to kind of bend because of how I feel about it.
Okay, that's kind of like, no, like not trying to be disrespectful, but aside from that kind of being an inauthentic stance, in my opinion, you just said that generally no. So if you don't think it's like something that could be permissible, then it is an ethical issue. So we are like when we talk about exploiting others, we are talking about the ethics behind it. When you say you can bend the rules, I mean, sure, people can bend their moral principles and say it's okay for things like SA to happen because it makes them feel good, or like human trafficking or other stuff because they derive something else out of it.
So my view on this, it's not like a consequentialist, like if I derive pleasure from it, it makes it good. What I'm saying when I'm saying that I'm fine with bending the rules of my morality, it's kind of in the sense of I don't think slave labor is okay because it is sorry, what's the word? Exploitation. But at the same time, I think in prison, people should be able to choose to work even if it's for less than minimum wage. So there's certain
That's not the same
situations.
thing, though. What we're talking
I know
about
it's
is
not.
people choosing when they go to the store, who are they going to oppress? Are they going to oppress someone, or are they going to just use plants?
I think if they choose to oppress the animal, there's no moral reason why that's
Do you
unethical.
use animals right now?
Yes.
What animals do you use?
I am vegetarian. I don't consume meat, but I consume dairy products.
Do you consume
So
eggs
you're
as well?
thinking,
Yes, I consume. Wait, what?
Oh, I just asked eggs. Go ahead, Ozark.
I was going to ask, that being the case, do you think that it would be morally, well, not morally acceptable, because you're saying, but according to you, like, would it be okay to farm dogs or breed dogs for dog fighting?
As a just, I couldn't stand on calling it unethical and defend my position. Do I think it would be gross and horrifying from my perspective? Yes.
So
But if I were to,
that's a logical contradiction right there within one sentence. And again, I'm not trying to demean you in any manner. Like, I'm trying to have a respectful discussion, but I do need to highlight that when you're saying I can't say it's unethical, but I also think that it would be horrendous and that's you're. It sounds like you're avoiding acknowledging it at the sake of sounding consistent. It's okay to answer how you truthfully feel. I'm not trying to get you in a gotcha or anything like that. I'm just trying to highlight the importance of or the ethical importance of exploitation within this discussion. And it really sounds like you're trying to avoid saying it, but you do think that these things are unethical.
okay, so with that, I don't think just because I feel a certain way about something, it means I could argue that thing being morally wrong. Like, if I take my kid to go get vaccinations, I don't want to take them to get vaccinated. I don't want to see them get poked with a needle, but I still do it, even though it'll bring me discomfort. I don't think just because you find something disgusting, like we're talking about dog fighting, I would be able to, uh, say it's ethically wrong or morally wrong.
So I'm going to say this very carefully, and it's an
I can't
as
hear
in the
you.
form that they are
Okay.
all exploitation, but essentially, sorry, I was saying essentially, what you're doing, and I'm using analogies right now, is you are essentially providing the grounds for people to justify doing anything that exploits anybody else, just for the sake of avoiding engaging like in a moral discussion, even like if it's moral relativism or subjective morality. Like, you're avoiding that, and by doing so, you're implying that it is okay for people to human traffic. It is okay for people to breed dogs for dog fighting. It's okay for a guy that likes to, get it on to go essay another person. Like, that's what this line of reasoning you're providing opens considerations for.
I mean, I'd never commit those things and I'd feel disgusted seeing those things, but just
The
because
point.
I feel disgusted by it doesn't mean I can philosophically support proving that action as immoral. And it seems like that qualm you have is just a qualm with moral relativism in general.
It
I
has
know it
nothing to
doesn't
do
sound
whether it's
pretty.
immoral. It doesn't have anything to do whether it's immoral. It has everything to do with whether you find it immoral or not. And I think that's what you're
Can I
avoiding.
ask-
You're trying to.
I'm just genuinely curious. Do you think Jeffrey Dahmer then was not like was that ethical? Jeffrey Dahmer ethical?
I believe morals are relative.
No, Jeffrey
Do I
Dahmer.
personally support Jeffrey
we sh-
Dahmer and think he's.
Do you think we should have imprisoned him?
Yes.
So you agree we should have stopped him?
Yes. Laws
That
are
means
social
that
contracts.
means doesn't matter if there's laws. What if there weren't any laws? Should we just let him keep going?
No, because then I'd be
Oh.
concerned about my safety, but that doesn't make what Jeffrey Dahmer did wrong.
Wait. So
There you
you
go.
want your bodily autonomy respected, but you don't have to reflect that respect to anybody else. Am I understanding that right?
Just because I want my bodily autonomy respected doesn't mean if somebody were to disrespect it, it would be objectively wrong.
Okay,
We're
but
having
that's
a
the thing.
philosophical
Yeah, we're having a
discussion.
Wow.
we're having a
Gross.
philosophical discussion that
You're
has
gross.
everything to do with with individual
I mean, you
morals,
can say
and
moral
you're really
relativism is gross, but you
no
can't
more.
actually
So that's the
debunk it.
thing. But that's the thing. You're talking of you're invoking moral relativism, but you're actively avoiding engaging with it whenever I am bringing up concepts according to your own morals. Everybody's morals is going to be different. Jeffrey Dahmer is more morally consistent than you are because he thinks it was okay to exploit humans. I'd say he's morally bankrupt, sure, but he's more morally consistent than most human beings I engage with on the topic. That's like you're talking about moral relativism here, and I'm asking you if you specifically find things ethical or unethical according to your morals, and you're just deflecting to moral objectivism.
So, do you want to actually engage, or okay? That's what I thought. It was such bad
Never
faith.
mind.
It was such bad faith. Like,
That Mason,
especially when she's like,
Mason.
yeah, you can. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess we can bring Mason back
It's
up.
up to you, but I was going to say we didn't even get a chance to ask her if she even thinks about her eating eggs and drinking milk. What
I
it
know.
still
She
does.
just, that's
to
the point.
animal.
She's pushing it away from herself constantly,
I didn't
right?
get-
That's
yeah, I
a
didn't get a
deflection.
chance to ask.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Ozark asked all the perfect questions, set up perfect scenarios, and she would just pivot to, well, some people, or in general, relativism. It's like,
Yeah.
look, you don't want to take responsibility, but if someone was to harm you, I guarantee you would want an explanation why, right? They better have a good reason.
Yeah, but it's even
I really
worse
don't
because I
think that she's
formatted it.
21 either. I don't think she's 21. I think she's a little younger than that.
Yeah, it's like worse because I even formatted the argument specifically applying it to moral relativism, and she absolutely deflected from it every single time.
Every time. Yep. Which just shows that she is aware that it's wrong to do this, but she's too scared of change, and change is scary. I get it.
Yeah.
It can feel overwhelming, but I promise if you go to look up the Vegan Daily Dozen, it makes it real easy. And maybe you take a month to figure things out. But after that month, it's just habits, it's easy. I don't even really think about it now. I just have my meals that I enjoy, and yeah.
Right. You just replace whatever the meat stuff was with
something else. I like beans. Some people like, I love tempeh actually too, and tofu.
Beans,
or you could do anything really. You could do wheat meat. You could do anything. Just not sentient beans.
All they have to do is take out one ingredient, put a different one in.
All right.
The only one you have waiting is the guy that you already spoke to.
I was gonna say I'm willing to talk to Mason, but you were up here a long time, Mason, and I know the other person has been waiting a long time, so I'm kind of conflicted. I'm gonna bring up I think the other person, and then if you're still there, we can talk. Just because I want to give.
I don't see anybody outside, so.
Yeah, and I only see one other person in line, so you should be the next one up if you're willing to wait.
That's so weird. I can't see it. That's so weird. But go ahead.
Yes, hello.
Hi, are you over 18?
Yes, I'm 20.
Okay. How do you morally justify using animals?
What do you mean using animals? Like that's a big question. Using, you mean what?
In any way. Fashion, testing, eating. Excuse me.
Before I answer this question, can you answer me this one other question?
If it's a clarifying question, sure, but otherwise, I would rather you answer. Okay. I'll do a clarifying.
What is your problem with animal unaliving?
That's not clarifying though. I can answer that. Answer this first, and then I'll answer your question.
Okay. Yes. How do I? Okay. I have no problem with it. Is that fair?
I guess so. Okay.
Yeah,
so
it is her life. So what she wants to do goes.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I have no problem with it. But there is lines, of course.
So your question was what is my issue with unaliving?
Yes. Is it the
I forgot not the unaliving. It's exploitation. So when you're taking someone's life for your benefit and not theirs, that is exploitation. If you're helping someone who's suffering and putting them down, that's in their best interest. That is not exploitation. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. All right. But what if the animal was born to fulfill a purpose.
What if a
which is-
human was born to be my slave? Does that mean that it's moral for me to use that person as a slave?
Well, a long time ago it was. Let's not forget that.
You think it was
We just-
moral?
Who are we to judge what was moral?
We're,
a long,
we
long
are
time ago.
we are born to judge, and I will judge
We're
anyone
not
who
born to
enslaved
judge.
another person.
Those
Ask-
were different times.
No, they were not that different, because I guarantee the slaves, if you ask them their perspective, they would say, no, I don't like this, and I would like it to stop now, right? Doesn't matter what the people, not what the oppressors think. That doesn't matter. It matters what the victim thinks. Of course the oppressor is not going to think there's anything wrong. They're not being harmed. They're benefiting from it. So that's silly. We're talking about the victims, and it was immoral to enslave people, even if they were born to be a slave, right? If I force two humans to mate so that they make a baby that I can enslave, that's still immoral. That's a sentient being who cares what happens to them and has their own purpose. That's immoral.
Yeah, but those were the times people were living in.
All right. You don't understand human rights. We're going to move on. That's terrible. Hey, Mason.
He's
What's
not from
up?
this country, probably.
Hey,
Yeah.
so I just have one question. And I know it's not answering your question that this live is all about, but it kind of makes a point maybe that we're all imperfect, that nobody is ethically perfect. I think that
Of course not.
you know,
That don't appeal to futility, though. That's
Sure,
a
sure, sure.
fallacy. Okay, just because the world can't be perfect, like here's another example. Do you try to not be racist?
sure,
Okay, can you eliminate all racism in the world?
probably not.
Right, but you still strive to be racist to avoid being racist, right?
Strive to not be racist. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a principled thing. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Doesn't matter, if you can make a big difference in the world. It just matters that you principally are not supporting something that you're against.
Sure.
Okay.
But my question is, it kind of goes above veganism and that ethical, and again, I know I seem very contrarian or something, but like I believe that veganism is ethically and morally the correct thing. I don't engage in it, and I would say it's because I'm imperfect, and perhaps someday I will. I don't know, but
Well, you just gotta watch these films first.
Nah, that's not going to change my mind.
It might. It might.
My question is, in a world where there is suffering, there's like a misappropriation of resources everywhere, and there are people in need, how can you ever ethically or morally justify doing anything for leisure?
Well, so it's not about so we live in a world that's not vegan, right? You're going to bump into obstacles. You can still have leisure and not be exploiting someone. So if your leisure does include exploiting someone, you should probably stop, right? If it's a crucial ingredient in it.
I mean, exploiting is one end of the spectrum, but
But you're entering utilitarian
free,
philosophy.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're discussing here. We're discussing specifically veganism, not utilitarianism.
Right. It's not about reduction of harm. It's about, I don't want to demand exploitation. Just like I was saying, you don't want to be racist, right? I don't want to demand animal exploitation, and I'm going to do the best I can to avoid it. It doesn't matter if I'm perfect. Of course, I'm going to find products that sadly use animals that I have no alternative to, right? Like I've heard some tires or the sheetrock in the house that I'm renting, right? I can't, if I had the option between a house that didn't use animals and a house that does, I would choose the one that doesn't. But in this situation, I don't have that choice. I just have whatever dwelling is available that I am able to afford, right?
Yeah, I mean, and like the headphones that you're wearing are probably made with exploited Chinese
These
labor.
are at least 3 years
style.
old. So, I mean, I do agree that
The age of it, I mean, that you can feel better about
Okay,
it,
so
but it
when
was
I bought
still,
these headphones, was I demanding that someone be exploited, or was I demanding a pair of headphones?
You were indirectly demanding that someone be exploited.
I wasn't.
Because you
I was
didn't-
demanding the headphones. When you use animals, you are directly demanding someone be oppressed. You cannot have animal products without oppression. You can build a phone, headphones, whatever electronic without slave labor.
But you
don't-
didn't buy those.
Yeah, I wanted to ask really quickly.
Phone. You have a Samsung or an iPhone. Like
Mason,
you chose.
Mason, really quickly, can you directly confirm that those headphones were actually exploitive during at their manufacturing or whatever?
Can you directly confirm that anything that I ate, like what kind of direct?
I'm asking you, like,
do you know what farm that my what my dairy?
Mason,
you know what exploitation
100% of the animals you use are exploited. Exploitation means using someone unfairly for your benefit. They had to be born into existence just to be used by you. That is it. Versus when you buy an electronic, right? Yeah, maybe they're using slave labor, but if you didn't buy that phone, if no one bought those phones, the slave labor wouldn't go away. They're going to make something else. That country is poor for several reasons, and those people are working in those places typically because they are very desperate, right? It's not necessarily that, I mean, it is partly that we're exploiting them, but it's also, there's other economical issues going into it. Me demanding a phone is not demanding that. I'm demanding an electronic. I'm demanding an electronic. How often, Mason? How often, Mason? How many times a day are you using animals versus how many times a day are you buying electronics?
Yeah, because spicy chicken strips are back, starting at $5.50 and covered with my new hot honey.
Laura, are you trolling us? The commercial. Oh my gosh.
Hey Mason, do you understand the difference between certainty and possibility?
Muted. TikTok has been messing up. Like if I mute him for a second and I try to unmute him, it won't work.
I would just drop him because what he's trying to do, he's avoiding your questions, and what he's trying to do is try to get you in an incorrect answer. That's why he keeps going back and forth. He's just screwing with you.
Yeah, like even if I was being hypocritical, let's say these are like full leather headphones, right? I just bought them. That has nothing to do with vegan. Like I am not veganism. Maybe I'm being a hypocrite, right? And I need to fix my ways. But that doesn't mean you can't make better choices, right? If you know better, then you can be a better vegan than me, right? And you're welcome to do so. Just because I'm not doing it perfectly doesn't mean you can't do it that way, right? You can't do it perfectly. It's a principled thing. It's me not wanting to demand someone's exploitation. And I'm going as far as I can to not do so. My electronics, I use until they die, right? I know about the slave labor that's involved. It's a small portion of the electronics, and it's hard to tell which electronics actually have it. So it's really just kind of this ghost thing. And what we can do is we can still demand electronics and still also demand those companies be transparent. But when you use animals, they have to be oppressed. They have to. They have to. We can build electronics without slavery. I don't want my phone to be built by a slave. I would prefer there be more electronics on the market that don't use slave labor, right? I would prefer that. They don't provide that option, but we can speak up that we want it. That's kind of what veganism is. If there's not an option, we speak up until there is one. And
Yeah,
then we keep. Go ahead, Ozark. Sorry, I'm going on.
It's a pretty big, absurd ask to expect a vegan to be completely exploitive free when almost all of the population perpetuates it in every industry. You know, and it's just like you said, also an appeal to futility and a nirvana fallacy. Like it can't be perfect, therefore I shouldn't do it, but also like everybody else is doing it, why should I stop? Nobody's perfect. Like that's two fallacies in one, question essentially.
I don't know if you figured if it worked for you yet, Mason. I'm gonna drop you for now. If you want to come back up, you can. I'm gonna move on to the next person, but I realize we threw a lot at you and you weren't able to respond. If I don't get back to you, which I realize this might be unfair to you, but you can message me and we can continue talking. But it does feel like, again, that you're just trying to point out my hypocrisies or obstacles, which again, it's not about these obstacles. It's about what you want to support. That's just the underlying thing. Do you want to support this? And if you don't, then you have a choice. You have a choice to make, right? Just like anyone who's going to use slave labor goods that you know for sure had to be made by a slave versus ones that weren't, right? It would be moral to then pick the one that wasn't made by the slave versus the slave labor. You have those options, and that's what we're talking about. But hopefully we can talk to you again. I'm going to drop you, move on to the next person. If you're willing to wait, we can bring you back up. Okay. I'm sorry if I repeated myself too. I tend to do that. I invited Peyton up, but it's taking a second.
Yeah, my bad. I was doing something.
Are you over 18?
Yes, I am. I am 19 years old.
Okay. How do you morally justify using animals?
So I live in Texas, and I live on a farm. I have cows and shit. I do it because it's my way of living, and I do it because actually all the cows that are given birth on the property, and we either eat, sell, or whatever, they all are fed, and they're not kept in 2x2 areas anymore. So
What if we switched the cows for humans? Is it still a good setup?
so on that argument, cows don't have nearly enough neurons in their face to understand the difference between their ass and the hole in the ground. So
Wow, you really are
sorry, I'm a little
speciesist.
bit of a comedian.
Well,
Dang, man, you don't give them any credit, do you?
I was going to say, like, do you even understand how intelligent cows are?
Yeah.
They are. I know.
Better
They're very
yet,
smart. All of them are very smart.
have you
They
ever
are.
been to a
And
traumatic brain? Have you ever been to a traumatic brain injury unit?
I can't tell who you're talking about too.
You, sorry. I was asking if you've ever been to a traumatic brain injury unit.
No, why?
Because the majority of the time, people that are in those places essentially are exactly what you described about the cows. They can't like
And I
function
feel bad.
in many so. But the question is, would it be okay to put people like that in those circumstances, since that was your criteria?
So, okay, hear me out on this. No, they're human, but just let me finish. What purpose do they serve in a space like that? A cow with, like, say, my cows, they're out there, right? They give me milk, they give me children, they give me food, and they keep my grass cut. They keep coyotes off the property.
So can I
They
ask
do
you a
everything they're
question?
supposed to do.
I
Wow.
understand what you're saying. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
How do human mothers feed their babies?
milk
Yep. So we can derive milk from humans. What is human tissue made from?
is meat.
Right. So we can derive
That's
meat from
cannibalism. You're about to suggest cannibalism, and that's not allowed on TikTok.
No, he's not.
I'm not suggesting anything. I am comparing consuming an animal to another animal, right? Do you mind, like, because I used specific traits that you defined and put them in a circumstance, and you said, well, no, because they're human. So it's not necessarily the trait of intelligence, because if it were, then you'd be willing to concede that it would be okay to do that to humans. So can you like define a morally relevant trait that makes it, or that humans have or lack, that makes it acceptable to exploit non-human animals but not humans?
We exploit humans just as much. We exploit other humans more than we exploit animals.
No, we exploit
Yes, you do.
like 90
We
billion
exploit what we do.
and
We
90
exploit.
billion plus animals a year. What's the population of humans right now?
There's 8 billion or 9 billion,
Okay,
something like that.
so which number's higher?
The animal number, but you also do realize they reproduce much faster than us.
Yeah, but they're all
Or
being exploited. Every single
not
one of
all
those
of them.
animals, and that's every single animal in that statistic I gave are all for direct human consumption. So you just
I don't
lied.
see a problem with
So
that.
I'm asking you, what makes it like okay, fine? Since humans are exploited, I'll concede that because I know that that's true. Can I ask you, do you think that it's okay for humans to be exploited?
Yes, just
You
not in the same. Not. Let me finish. Not in the same way animals are exploited.
Exploitation's exploitation. So do you think it? So you think
I
it's
don't
okay
think we
for?
should chop. I don't think I should go to my neighbor who lives down the road, chop him up, and use
So
him
what
for
kind of
bagel bites.
exploitation of
No.
humans is acceptable? I'm really kind of itching to hear this.
People, you gotta climb through the ranks of society. Yeah. Do I
That's not
think?
exploitation.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. People are consenting to the society, right?
Okay,
People that
I'll
are
give you
not,
that. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yep.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So, okay, fair enough. So
Can
can you?
I make a point earlier? Can I make a
No, I
point?
want to. I
It
want. I
was
want to finish. I want to finish this line of reasoning first before you
okay.
deflect. All right. So, can you define a morally relevant trait difference between humans versus non-human animals that makes it acceptable to exploit non-human animals, but not human animals?
Food.
Well, yeah, we already established that we could derive everything that we do from animals from humans. Humans are animals, right? You understand that?
Yeah, but the tissue composition is different.
It's comparable to pork, right?
Closest, yes.
Yep. So again, like we technically,
Bacon.
by all intents and purposes, we can be food.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong, but
So do you
I don't
mind
see you
providing
going
a
out and
more?
chopping up your neighbor and using him as
But I'm also
eating him
not.
for your bagel bites.
I'm also not raising animals on my farm to do this to do that either, and I'm also not paying for it
I
to
also
happen.
I also don't eat all the animals on my farm.
It doesn't matter. They're all 100% of cows are well, almost 100% of cows are exploited. The remainder are usually kept out of sympathy because somebody forms a bond or are rescued. But almost
So
all of the cattle on the planet, almost all of the livestock on the planet are exploited.
yeah, I don't see an error in that.
So,
It
can
would
you
make
answer
sense.
what's the morally relevant trait difference between a human versus a non-human that makes it acceptable to do that to non-human animals that all humans, every single
I think
human has or lacks?
okay. Moral is the wrong word. I think you should use just trait difference because
Ethically, all right, fine.
God
What
put
is
these animals. God in the Bible says every. This is paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly where.
Can
You
you,
said, yeah,
Peyton, before you bring religion into this, can you prove that God exists?
yes, I can.
even so,
Okay.
Peyton?
Yeah,
Do you derive your morals from the Bible?
not all of them.
So, are you a Christian? Like, why are you
I am
invoking the Bible?
because I was about to use it to prove a point, but
So, do you think that everything in the Bible is justifiable?
in modern day standards, no. But back
Okay,
then,
so there's a
yes.
logical inconsistency right there. We can't fall back on the Bible as a
Okay, you don't want
relevant
to do that.
justification.
Can
We
I
can't.
make a
I mean,
point here?
if you can't apply that to all circumstances, that makes the whole stance logical. So we can move
Okay.
on from that and go back to the morally relevant
No,
trait
I would
difference
like
if you
to.
want
Can
to
I just?
answer that.
Can I ask one question? Can I ask one question? Host, I was watching this earlier, and you said cows had to be pregnant to produce milk. Did you say that, or did you not?
They do, yes. They have to
That
give
is
birth,
inaccurate.
not pregnant.
That
They
is
have
completely inaccurate. You want to know why? Because we have a cow.
cows must give birth to produce milk. She's a mammal. Not
Yeah, he's
pregnant
just trying
necessarily.
to-
She has to give birth. Once she gives birth, that's when she produces milk.
Yeah, please don't pivot. Can you answer
This is
the
just what
Yeah.
he's doing.
Bessie
relevant trait difference?
had never
Please
gave birth.
answer. Please
Thank you.
answer Ozark's question, please.
Okay, what was your question?
What is the morally relevant, or even without, what is the relevant trait difference that makes it acceptable to exploit non-human animals versus humans?
Neurons.
So
They don't have the brain capacity. They
every
don't have the
human
same
has the
brain
same
capacity as we.
functioning neurons. Like there are plenty of humans that like lack functioning neurons. I have a spinal cord injury. Half of my body experiences numbness and neuropathy.
I can do that with lidocaine.
Yeah,
My
but
bad.
I'm
That was wrong.
just saying. So
That
do you
was my
think
fault. That was too
do you
far.
think like somebody with a spinal cord injury who's lacking neuron function should be put in those same conditions as those cattle are up until through the slaughter process?
No, you're
So it's
human.
not neurons. Can you provide the morally relevant trait
They're a
difference?
cow. They are a gosh darn cow.
Okay, and I'm asking for the relevant
They are
trait difference.
legitimately built almost near perfect to be food. We aren't.
So we also, back in the pre-Civil War antebellum South, did that with people that we exploited. Then we slave owners were actually specifically breeding people for their genetic traits.
That's just called
They were eating
genetic
them as
breeding,
well.
yes.
There are cookbooks that exist.
So
There's been cookbooks for human cookbooks since before
are you implying that
before this continent was found. Humans are disgusting creatures. We're disgusting people. We're disgusting everything. Everything in this world is fight to survive. I am sorry and I'm not at the same time. Vegans, do what you want, but I can prove you
Peyton,
right
are you
now. I can walk
unraveling?
out there and slap one of my horses and they're not gonna fight back.
Peyton, stop. Are you here to actually talk, or are you just here to yell about your opinion and run away?
I bet my fault. I got a little hyper there. My fault.
Yeah, we know that humans are really bad for the planet and everything we interact with. But as humans and being the moral agents we are, I believe, according to my own ethical principles, it is my duty to do the best that I can to not exploit others because I get some sort of gain out of it, whether it be pleasure, convenience, thrills, whatever the difference might be. Because I don't see a morally relevant trait difference that makes it acceptable.
See, that's the difference between us. You have different morals than I do.
Are you familiar with the term speciesism?
No.
All right, so speciesism is the unfounded assumption of human superiority that leads to the exploitation of animals. Do you know what that mindset is analogous to?
What?
Other isms like let's say sexism, right? A man feels he's superior to a woman, therefore it's okay for him to trespass upon her. Do you think that like using that sort of justification without being able to provide a relevant trait difference would be acceptable?
I'm not really listening to you right now. I'm texting someone.
Okay, well, you can go.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's hella rude.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why he wasn't even listening because he was too busy on his phone texting.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I don't have
Well-
anyone else right now, but I'm sure someone will come up. Come on, unless you're all vegan. What morally justifies using animals these days? You think you're right? Let's hear it. Sam Canolo, come on up.
Yeah, tell a lion not to eat an antelope. Okay.
I can't talk to a lion.
You're going to tell human to not commit infanticide because lions do? I mean...
Oh, that'll go well in court.
It's a weird
Tell
take.
tiger. Yeah, and he's like the guy saying, "Tell tigers to eat grass." Haha.
So
Yeah,
what's interesting about obligate carnivores is that they don't need to eat animals either. It's just that they are in a situation where that's all they have available to them, right? We could actually, if we were able to get ourselves figured out, we could probably provide them an alternative as well, but right now we can't even control our own species.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is bioavailable taurine because, like us, they don't make it within their bodies.
Right.
So carnivores that are supplemented with taurine, they can consume other stuff. I mean, I used to live with a cat that would go and eat pineapples off of pizza because they enjoyed the pineapples.
Yeah, that's so cute. Yeah. Oh, Ozark, you went out again. I can't hear you.
Oh, I muted.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. I thought you were still saying something. I was like, oh, it shut off.
No, I finished.
Yeah, you're right, though. They just need that nutrients like taurine as long as they can get that.
Comments are, you got a lot of them that are meat eaters, but they're too chicken to come up.
I know. Why did you guys come up here? You got a lot to say. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Like Lord Sun.
It's always the people with the most to say that won't come up and say
I
anything.
know it,
No,
man. They
right.
have these big
They're
opinions.
just keyboarders that want to say whatever they want to say stupidly in the
Social
comments, but they
justice
never want to
warriors.
come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never want to
Keyboard
come up.
warriors. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, keyboard idiots.
Yeah. My number did drop. I don't know. Maybe I should like start over.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
That's probably a good idea.
Let's do a quick restart. I will be right back. I don't need to take a break or anything, so I'll be right back. Okay.
Come back, Ozark.
Yeah, come back, Ozark. You're great. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right. Mic is on. I think I have all of my stuff up. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see who we get. Here we go. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Red Apple. See if we can let people trickle back in. Oh, there you are, Lori. Hey. Ozark, are you able to interact with stuff? I wanted to check.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Lori, are you also able to use your tools?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, right on.
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome.
I don't know if you have anybody on your side or not. There's
Not
nobody
yet.
really in the comments
Not yet.
Yeah.
It looks like there's only a small crowd for right now, but
Okay.
there might be more. I'll reintroduce
Okay.
everything. How do you morally justify using animals? And I got some resources here. Dominion 2018 is a 2-hour film, goes over the standard practices of how we use animals. I highly suggest and encourage, I'm trying to find my right words here. I want to really encourage people to watch Dominion, because if you're going to continue to use animals, you should know exactly what it is you're demanding. Dairy is Scary shows you what's inherent in dairy. A cow is a mammal. She must have given birth to produce milk. So that shows you all the steps that they go through as farmers. And then if you're just concerned, you don't know where to start with, how to change out your diet or what to do, Vegan Daily Dozen is a great place to start. Just a really simple, whole food, healthy diet, just easy checklist, like 3 servings of beans a day, 3 servings of fruit a day, I think something like 5 servings of vegetables. And it gives you a list of what it means by those words. So, yes, Charles, I want you to morally justify. Just like if I was to go around slapping people, I better have a morally justified reason, right? Otherwise, what am I doing? I'm just causing people harm unnecessarily for my pleasure. You can get your nutrients off of other things, plants, fungi. All right, we got someone.
How's it going?
Hi, is it Barabbas?
Yeah, Barabbas.
Barabbas. Okay, Barabbas. Are you over 18?
I am.
Excellent. How do you morally justify using animals?
Through my subjective moral framework. I think morality is subjective to each individual, and my moral framework is there's nothing immoral about it.
Okay. Do you want your autonomy respected?
That's not an issue for me in my moral framework.
If someone came at you with like a sharp object, would you rather that they...
Again, not an issue in my moral framework. I
don't know
distinguish
what that
between
means.
animals and humans.
What do you mean not an
Yeah,
issue?
I distinguish between, in my moral framework, according to the morality I adhere to, animals are for my use.
Okay, so if someone
And that's just according to my subjective framework.
So if someone comes at you with a sharp object, are you going to stop them?
If someone comes at me?
Yeah.
Depends on who it is, but I mean, if it's my wife, probably not. She's probably just going to cut my hair.
If someone comes at you...
No, according to my moral framework, it's not a problem to eat animals because animals don't have the same...
Oh my God, dude. Like you literally just repeating yourself. No, you're just repeating yourself. You're just repeating yourself. Okay, we're done. I'm not talking to that person.
Yeah, all right.
What is going on? Are we having a conversation or are you just talking to yourself?
I was ready for some name the trait right off the bat. I usually try to not go there so soon.
Cam slam. Oh, no? Okay.
But it's up to you.
Oh, what'd you say?
I think he's a kid, but it's up to you.
Oh, the next person? Okay.
Cam slam.
Oh, I did bring them up and then they left.
Yeah, I don't think they're. I think
Yo.
they're good.
Hey, Ollie?
Yeah.
Hey, are you over 18?
Yeah.
Right on. How do you morally justify using animals?
Because we need them for food.
What is it you think you need from them that you can't get from other sources?
Well, we need their type of flavor and their type of nutrition and their
Like what?
type of like the protein. Like meat has protein, leaves they don't have protein.
You'll be surprised. Plants have protein. And as long as you eat your total calories in a day, you'll get your needed protein.
Well, they have less well, leaves have less nutrients and less
I
needed.
don't eat leaves. I don't know why you're saying that.
Do you know where protein originates?
From meat.
No. Animals do not naturally produce their own protein. All protein, like all amino acids, come from plants.
Okay.
Like all essential amino acids we need come from plants. That's how the animals that you consume get their protein. They get it from plants.
Well, if us men just eat plants, we're gonna have low testosterone. We need
That's actually
testosterone.
scientifically been demonstrated to not be true. They did a study, and out of omnivores, vegetarians, and vegans, people that consumed animals came in with the lowest amount of testosterone, with vegetarians having 8% higher and vegans having 13% higher testosterone.
Whoa, bro, we need that flavor, bro. Salad has no flavor.
Does taste pleasure really justify taking someone's life?
Taking an animal life or a human
Taking
life?
someone's life.
It depends. What type? It depends.
Why
If
does
it's
it
an
depend?
ant,
What does it depend on?
how valuable the life is. An animal's life isn't
It's
valuable.
valuable to the individual. Just like your life is important to you. I don't care about your life. If you tomorrow passed away, which I really hope doesn't happen. If you passed away tomorrow though, no effect on me, right? I don't care. But what I do care is if someone was to be exploiting you, using you, enslaving you without your consent, that I would have a problem with. That's not okay. You're your own person with your own purpose.
I feel you, but I feel like we just need to. Sometimes we need to kill animals. Sometimes they go wild.
Okay, I'm talking about right now when you have access to grocery stores. You don't need to do any of that. I'm not talking about if you were stranded on an island. Yeah, if I was stranded on a raft with another human and I was about to perish, there's a chance I might unalive another human just to survive, right? That's justified, not necessarily moral, but it's justified, right? Because I was in a survival situation. But that doesn't mean once I'm around a grocery store that I can now demand that humans be born into existence to be farmed for my taste pleasure because at some point in my life I had to survive.
Why do you think that humans and animals hold the same value?
I think that we morally matter the same because we both are sentient, which means we're having a subjective experiences. We experience joy, we experience fear, we experience sorrow, right? We experience suffering. We all relate in that. We want to continue living and having experiences, avoiding harm. All sentient beings have that.
So would you say that a human who can't experience joy and like let's say they're a psychopath
A human that
and
is
stuff,
still sentient, they care about what happens to them. It doesn't matter if they don't have some capacity to experience some specific emotion. If they're sentient, they're still making preferences. That's what sentience means. They're weighing out situations on whether they like them or not. And that's all that matters. If they want to keep continuing, right, I have no reason to go and take that away from them. I can eat something else.
So if a human becomes like really, really sad and so they don't have any preferences and they don't care about anything.
Well, what do we usually think about that situation? Do we think that's normal or do we think that person needs help?
Well, I'm asking you, do you think that they would be less valuable than someone who
Of course
does have more
not. I just
sympathy?
told you, we would try to help. We think there's something wrong. Morally speaking, we should help that person.
I mean, I
Ali,
get
I
what you're
just want to
saying, but you're
mention really
saying we
quick.
value sentience. So if somebody has less, it's less
Ali,
Sentience is
sentience.
binary. Go ahead,
Ali,
Ozark.
I just want to mention, like, value is an arbitrarily assigned concept that we do as humans. I don't know you. I know my dogs. I value my dogs a lot more than I value you. Does that mean I think that you should be exploited? No. You know, value doesn't matter. Like, we value that everybody has sentience. Does that make sense?
Everybody has sentience,
Yep. So,
but I mean, even if everybody has sentience, like animals,
so
they're not on the same levels as humans. They didn't work for what they have. We dominated them. If they couldn't keep up, that's their fault.
Is it more?
can you tell me, like, how often you dominate other animals?
Like when I do a math test and I do it, why an animal can't do that?
No.
Animal
You're
can't do what
talking
I
about a
did.
math test. I'm asking you, like, give me an example of you specifically dominating an animal.
Like when I do something they can't do.
Nope, that's you just doing something that they can't do. Can you echolocate?
What do you mean echolocate?
Like, use sonar frequency to like see and hear
I
without
can
tools.
hear.
Like,
I
can
can
you
see and I can hear.
within your biology, can you physically do that?
Like a bat or a dolphin. That's what his point is.
I
Yeah.
can see and I can hear just fine. Can
No, I'm
they
talking
solve a
about using.
math? Can they
No, I'm
figure
not
out
talking about
gravity?
using.
You got
I'm
5
talking
waiting.
about.
Most.
Can they
Just
build
to
a
let you know you have 5
can they build
waiting.
a building? Can they do that? Can they?
Can you tell me when the last time you built a building was?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm speaking for a
No, I'm
human.
speaking for you. When's the last time you built a
Answer his
building?
question.
I build a building in Minecraft all the time. Can they
Yeah,
do
okay.
that?
God.
When's the last time you physically constructed a massive building?
I mean, bro, it
So
depends.
by your standard, it's okay to exploit people that haven't built buildings.
No. You're not understanding. What I'm saying
Oh,
is, it's
I'm
okay to
understanding you.
exploit
You're saying
people.
because somebody else does something, that means you should be exploitation free.
You can exploit people who can't keep up with you. If someone can't keep up, like
Sure,
an
you
animal,
can. Does that
if
mean we
they're too
should?
far behind, then get rid of that animal. Every
You
single
do you,
human
do you
can
know
keep
what
up.
exploitation means?
Yeah,
Can you explain it to me?
it means to take advantage of someone.
Unfairly to benefit yourself, right? So are you implying that it's okay to exploit people that can't keep up?
If it depends how much they can keep up. Like if you're the same as an animal and you can't even think,
You don't even
then you're
believe
not
in
a human.
human rights?
Oh, wait. So you
No.
think it's okay to
Yeah,
exploit
no.
infants?
What'd you say?
You think it's okay to exploit babies or toddlers?
No, babies and toddlers are more better than animals because they
No,
can
you're
actually say
saying they're more better,
words.
but cognitively, there are animals
They
that
can
are.
speak English.
Babies can't.
They can smile. They
Toddlers
can
barely
laugh. I
can.
never seen an animal smile or laugh. Babies can do that.
So they express emotions in their own way that's unique
Chickens
to
can
them.
count. Chickens can count within hours of being born. Babies cannot.
Yeah.
Human babies are so vulnerable compared to animals.
I
And
mean,
fully mature pigs have the capacity of a 4-year-old toddler. So do you think it's okay to exploit toddlers?
toddlers can smile. Toddlers can laugh. Toddlers
So
can
pigs have
enjoy.
the same
A
cognitive
toddler can
function.
give me a hug.
What about
An
a
animal
toddler
can't
that's
give me a
mute?
hug.
Give him
What
one
about a
more time.
toddler
If
that's
he
mute
keeps saying that it's okay to do this to humans, though, I will kick him. I just want to be clear.
No, it's not.
What's
No, it's not okay to
You
do
can
that to
kick him
humans. Not at
whenever.
all. Not at all. It's never okay to do that to humans. Only to
Yeah,
animals.
but
Only to
okay.
animals.
So can you describe the morally relevant trait difference that makes it okay to do that to non-human animals that share similar capacity to that of young children?
Okay, so if you look at advancement, and if you were to look at how advanced is this animal, let's say I have a pig. Can this pig solve a math equation? Can this pig
Ollie,
Can a baby solve a math equation?
Can this pig
there's
fix
an
world
example.
hunger?
I need you to understand. Humans are taught what they do. They don't just naturally learn it. Okay.
Yeah, if I teach a pig how to solve a math equation, he
there
can't
have
do
been
it.
evidence. There's been histories where children have been severely abused. Like there's this girl they call the bunny girl. Her father kept her in the basement, locked up completely. She had no human interaction, right? So that means she didn't know how to speak. She didn't even know how to walk. And they found her when she was like, I think 11.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but if I
So
do,
is it okay for us to exploit her because she's not advanced?
No,
She can't
not at
keep
all.
up. She had to
Because she
get
has the
care.
potential.
She had to
She
have
has the
care
potential.
for her whole life. Her whole life. Never contributed to anything. Couldn't build a building. Could not do any of it. She had to focus on how to speak, on how to just function, right? Does that mean we can
Okay, I
exploit
understand
her?
that.
Can we exploit
No,
her?
not at all.
Why
Not at
not?
all. Because
Why not?
because she has potential. Them animals,
She
they
didn't
don't have
though.
any
She
potential.
was severely stunted from her youth. This case
was.
actually exposed how important it was in early stage development for children to have interactions. My point is, if we didn't have these interactions, a lot of animals lose their parents shortly after they're born in the wild. They
I'm
still
sorry to
can
hear that. I'm
survive.
very sorry to hear that.
I
I'm
know,
very
but they
sorry.
can still survive. So my point is, humans can't keep up. And I'm trying to say, is it then in your eyes moral that we exploit babies because they can't keep up?
You think a baby can't keep up?
See, this is ridiculous that you can't answer a question. You're so cowardly. Is it moral to do this to babies?
Why?
No. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Because a
Tell me
baby.
why.
Okay, I'm gonna tell
Spit
you.
it out.
Relax.
Get on
A
it, or I'm gonna
baby-
kick you.
A baby has the potential to become greatness.
What if this baby?
Let's talk about potential
What if
really quick.
Yeah, look, well, what if that baby wasn't going to make it to like age 6? We know they're going to pass
it's
away.
not-
Can I
even if
turn
it's-
them? Can I turn them into bacon now?
Even if the baby isn't gonna make it to age 6, babies do have very high IQs. Wow.
Okay,
No.
what
Oh
about
my
somebody with a
God, dude,
traumatic
you are so
brain injury that has
Oh.
zero potential?
No. When you're
What about
when you're
somebody
young,
with a traumatic brain injury that has zero potential? That's already a fully grown adult. They have no chance of recovering.
all right, man. Dude, I don't think this is going anywhere, man.
Coward.
It was nice
Coward.
debating you guys, bro.
Coward.
It was nice debating you guys.
Coward. He's a coward. Coward. Keep deflecting from the very questions that you know are going to answer what it is in your head that's like, oh, no, I'm not being hypocritical. Like, yes, you are. Ugh. I don't like when people are just like, humans are different. It's like, that's what all the other oppressors say. This group is different. I can't put my finger on it. They're just different. They either look different, they come from a different background. It doesn't matter that they have a similar capacity to suffer and have their own subjective experiences. I don't care about that. I only care if they're part of my group. And if they're not part of my group, I can dominate them. I can use their body without their consent for my sensory pleasures. That's what you're defending. It's disgusting. Frustrating.
Yep.
Feel like some of these people are just up here to like waste time, and they want to be spanked. It's really frustrating. Like, go spank yourself. Go do the research. Lazy. Okay, I'm gonna bring up someone. Stop complaining. Kenny F Fuse, or is it Fuse? Kenny Fuse.
Kenny Fuse.
Kenny Fuse. Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 21.
All right. How do you morally justify using animals?
Morally justify. I mean, look at wolves. They'll kill a pig.
Are you a wolf?
I mean, yeah, I'm a wolf.
Wow,
I know
I've
that's
never spoken to a wolf before. You speak so well.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I know the question. Like, it's not that simple. We're
Okay,
predators.
are we gonna actually? I was gonna say, are we actually gonna have a conversation? So you're not a wolf. Do you know what a
Yeah, I'm
moral?
not a wolf.
Do you know what
I'm
a
just
moral
saying
agent
since-
is?
You said what?
Do you know what a moral agent is?
No, I don't know what that is.
So moral agents are like you and I. We weigh out a situation and decide if it's right or wrong, and understand that morality is complex, right? They're
Yeah,
what we
so-
call moral patients, like children. Children
Uh-huh.
may or may not have an idea of what morality is, but they still are sentient and they care what happens to them. So moral agents like you and I have an obligation to them to not exploit them just because they're vulnerable to us, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So that's the difference between a wolf and you. A wolf is a moral patient doing what they have been taught to survive a harsh environment. You can shop at a grocery store and just move your hand.
Yeah, no, that's facts, and I'm gonna pick up in the meat section.
Okay,
Can I actually ask you a question?
So you said hold on real quick. Our morality is subjective,
Tracking.
right? So everyone's gonna think one thing, and everyone else is gonna also see. You know, it's subjective.
Kenny, can I ask you, like since you mentioned like the whole thing of like being a wolf and this and that, do you think that what occurs in nature is acceptable for us to do?
I mean, just because it's occurs in nature, I don't think it's acceptable, but that's not gonna stop it from happening. I just seen a
Well,
video
no,
of Africans slaughtering
well,
children across
sure.
the
I
world,
mean,
and
yeah,
it's gonna
I'm
happen
not. I'm
regardless
not
if we think
disagreeing
it's
with you there.
acceptable
I'm
or
just
not.
making sure you understand, like that, an appeal to nature, like, isn't really a valid form of argument, which it kind of sounded like you were doing from the
No,
beginning. And if you weren't, correct me if I'm wrong. I apologize, but that's just kind of what I wanted to ask. That was it.
no, I was just because I think to justify the reason I eat meat is because it's easier to get the nutrients I want. You know, I work out and stuff, and you know, if I see a cow, like if I befriended a cow, I wouldn't want to eat that cow.
Can I
But
ask
as long
why
as I'm
it's
eating,
easier?
you said what?
Can I ask why you think it's easier
Easier for what?
to get nutrients?
Oh, I mean, meat has everything that vegetables there's
It
so many
doesn't.
vitamins and minerals that vegetables like just won't be able to provide you. Look, vegans have to
Yeah, but
supplement with vitamin B12. B12,
yeah.
even
So
though you could get
do you know who the largest consumers of vitamin B12 are?
who?
Livestock.
Yeah, livestock. So
So
you know
you're
why? It's because
supplementing B12.
the bacteria in their gut can
No, no, no,
process that B12 not the same way we can. We
no,
eat
no, no.
plants like them, it's not going to process it.
That's not true. That's not true. So
Yeah,
ruminants
so then
are fed cobalt or B12, the cobalt to assist with B12 synthesis. But 99% of the other animals that are consumed don't. They are supplemented with
right, but
B12
then
because they are like
if I
us,
eat a
as in
deer,
we don't naturally make
if
it,
right, but
aside from in our colon.
if I eat deer
Deer
liver,
don't
I'm gonna
always
get
have
more B12 than if
B12
I
in
eat
them.
pounds and
Like
pounds of
B12 is not.
vegetables.
That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true.
Why
You
is it
might
not
eat
true?
a deer that is severely deficient because you might eat a deer that is severely deficient in vitamin B12 because it's really not terribly common in nature anymore.
B12, as far as I know, it's I think it comes from the dirt or something, but it's synthesized in the gut because of bacteria. And so just the way the food chain works, all that stuff lies in the
No,
ground,
no, no,
right?
no, no, no.
And
You're
when the
you're totally
herbivore eats
avoiding
it,
science right now
it's
and actual data, right?
uh
You are indirectly supplementing B12 because the livestock you're consuming aren't getting that. When you go and you consume a deer, you don't know unless you go get that animal tested whether it actually has B12 in it or not.
no,
So you're making an assumption.
yeah, but I searched it up. I don't know what the concentration is, but B12 in animal meat is profoundly more concentrated than in vegetables or plants.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's because they are the largest consumers of the
Yeah,
supplement B12.
exactly. So if I want some B12, I'm not gonna eat 3 pounds
No,
of
it's,
grass.
you
I'm
can
gonna eat
you can
one
supplement
quarter
you're
pound of
supplementing
liver.
it regardless. You said well vegans need to supplement B12. You're supplementing B12.
No, I don't
Like
need a
you're literally
supplement. It's since I'm
supplementing
look,
B12.
supplement
No,
means
you're
needing
literally
to take
supplementing
in
B12.
outside of your normal diet. If I'm eating meat, I don't need a
No.
supplement.
You're filtering your vitamins through someone else's body when you could just take the vitamin yourself. You even just said it. It's from the bacteria. You don't
Yeah,
need it
but
to
it's
go through
more
the animal.
bioavailable
You
when you
don't
eat it in
need
whole
it.
food.
No, you don't. You don't.
Look at vitamin.
Kenny, if you're going to deny science, we're going to move on.
The nice. I'll go on my computer right now.
B12 you
How's
can
that?
take as a supplement instead of giving it to the animal. It's that simple.
Let's
It's
see.
that simple. I don't
Wait.
really
So
want to
you're
sit
saying?
here while you do research. We know that the
All right. Wait.
animals.
All right. So then, yeah, we can move on.
Okay. I
I
was
can
going to say,
see.
we know that the animals are supplemented. Okay. We know for a fact it's so common because it makes a
Okay.
better product. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
Can I ask a
taking your
question
vitamins
about?
through their body. Please go ahead, Ozark.
I was gonna say, Kenny, can I ask you a question really quick? Do you supplement vitamin C, vitamin E, niacin, or folic acid?
I don't need to supplement that because I have a whole diet of meat and fruits and vegetables.
Okay, so yeah, because those aren't really that common within animal consumption alone, right? So
Yeah, they're
you're already
not.
supplementing that, and the only nutrient that you cannot get from nature right now,
Vitamin C.
because it's no vitamin B12.
Or I mean,
You're
you said.
supplementing it.
I thought
I'm
you said food. My
supplementing
bad.
it. Everybody in the world that is getting B12 is supplementing it somehow, whether it be through animals or supplements. There's no difference in bioavailability. That's something that you're actively making up right now.
Bioavailability. If it's the same way if I ate vitamin D without any kind of fat, it's not
You
gonna
can
absorb the
take
same.
your vitamins, there's studies on them that they're effective. If you're deficient in something, you can take a supplement, or you can try to find it in a Whole Foods version. I have the Vegan Daily Dozen right here. Just a dozen
Right.
things
Okay.
to
Okay.
eat to make sure you get everything
No,
you need in a day. You
I
can
Yeah,
I
get
can
the
everything you
supplement.
Yeah,
need from.
meat eaters are the ones that are highly they're deficient in everything and they think they're not, but they are.
Yes.
yeah,
So
it's
most.
recommended.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's your life.
What you're
I was
saying.
going to say it's yeah. I was going to say it's recommended by like the top nutritional experts that everybody supplements. Like
Right.
everybody's at just as much risk of a deficiency.
Because you're not eating a whole diet. Also, Wifo said something. He said, "Why take a pill instead of just eating like good food instead of having it in your whole
Animals
diet?"
are sentient. There's someone in there. You have B12 in your body. Am I now morally justified to take your life so I get my B12?
I don't know what your morals are, but logically, it would
Do
not be right for you to
you
do that.
find it moral? I'm asking you.
I don't find it moral for you to
Right.
kill me,
It's
but
not
for
moral
animal that's
because
not my
I can
species.
get it somewhere else. I don't need to use you. I can get it somewhere else. You're sitting up here like, I want the animal to suffer. I want them to choke on their blood so that I get their B12. That's
They
what
pop
you're
it in
up
the
here
head for
defending.
like a
That's
second.
what you're
They
up here
instantly
defending.
die.
You're up here defending someone pew-pewing someone in the head so that you can lick their insides.
Okay, let's not personify animals.
I'm not
Just because my animals,
personifying. That's what happens. That's literally what happens to them. You're asking that these sentient animals get pew-pewed. They feel. They want to continue living. That's why you shouldn't use them. I'm sorry, Ozark. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Rant away. Do it. Kenny, can I ask you what the morally relevant trait difference that humans have or lack that makes it not okay to exploit them versus non-human animals?
it's my family, man. I mean,
No, I'm asking you.
that's,
So you think that it's okay to exploit people that aren't your family?
if it means me and mine go up, then yeah. Like what kind of question? What exactly do you mean?
Like they're so. I guess what about your family? What's the morally relevant trait difference between your family and everybody else that makes it okay for people to exploit others but not them?
Uh, well, they're my family. I wouldn't want my family to get exploited.
Yeah, and these other individuals don't want to be exploited either. So what makes you somehow more valuable?
Well, it doesn't make me necessarily valuable. Just what I value is my family, and anyone
Okay,
else's.
do you think that it is okay for people to farm humans and exploit them?
No, morally and
Well,
logically.
so then it has nothing to do with your family then. But like, why is it not okay to farm humans, but it's okay to do that to non-human animals? Like, what is the specific trait that is either present or lacks within humans that makes it okay for us to do that to non-human animals, but not humans?
Present trait. They can't talk to me. I guess. I don't know
Okay,
though.
so if a mute person cannot communicate, is it okay to exploit them?
Oh no, he could communicate, just not in the same way we do.
Not talk, because you specifically said talk.
Oh yeah, but the animal doesn't understand. It's not on the
So
same level as
I'm
us.
asking you, is it okay to exploit somebody that's not capable of talking?
I don't think it's okay, but if
So
it
then
happens,
it's not
it might
talking. Can you
happen.
provide a morally relevant trait difference?
I'm sorry, what?
What?
You cut out. What'd you say?
I said, since it's not talking, can you provide a morally relevant trait difference?
Uh, nah. I guess when you put it like that, animals and humans, they're just not our species, though. That's the thing.
So are you
Like,
familiar with the term speciesism?
yeah, I've heard of it. I think I have
Yeah,
an
so
idea.
it's the unfounded it's the unfounded assumption of human superiority that leads to the exploitation of non-human animals. Do you understand what analogous means?
No, what does analogous mean?
It means that something is comparable even if it's not the same. So when we talk about that species as a mindset, it's very analogous to concepts like sexism and racism, as in they aren't the same, but they are both arbitrary uses of a mindset to draw an imaginary line between us and them in order to oppress them, because
Okay, so
we decide that we are somehow different without any real determining trait difference, right?
so you're kind of saying that the cows and the sheep are sentient, right? They're not too much different from us, right? And the
No, I
dolphins are
never said
sentient.
that they weren't too much different from us. They're very different than we are. I said they are
Okay.
sentient, and so are we. As in, they
So then what's
experience reality subjectively, just like you do, maybe differently, but they do have an experience of reality. They do experience emotions in whatever way that their species,
okay?
evolved to do so.
That's true.
You're making an assumption that somehow. Your experience is more valid than theirs is without even really ever experiencing reality as one of them.
That's true. So they kind of have sentience. They're going through it, right? Um,
Be
like
clear,
you would
sentience is
say dolphins
binary.
have.
You either
You said
are
what?
sentience is binary. You either are sentient or you're not. It's not a gradient.
So
If it's a gradient, it's intelligence from there.
okay, but so you're saying that the cow is intelligent or sentient is why we
Cows
shouldn't eat them?
both. Cows are
Both.
both.
What about a
But the
dolphin?
reason to not use them is their sentience, not their intelligence, but their sentience.
Okay. What
Yeah,
what
we're
about
not
a dolphin?
advocating for exploiting dolphins either, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we're advocating for not exploiting anybody if we don't have to.
And so, but the dolphins kind of it's both intelligent and sentient, right?
What's the point?
So the same way that a wolf is also kind of intelligent, sentient probably,
Not
has
moral
no
patience,
problem
or they're not
killing the
moral
prey.
agents. Remember, we talked about moral agents and moral patience. Moral
Yeah, I
agents
got you.
understand what's right and wrong. We have an obligation then to act on what we think is right and to
I
avoid
got
what we
you.
think is wrong. Okay? Moral
But
patients don't necessarily understand what is right and wrong. So you can't
yeah, I
use
got you.
them as your moral guiding star. They're not in the same
So
situation. They don't have the same concept as you.
I'm just thinking about prehistoric humans got to feed a family, and
Talking
they'll
about
take down
today
a herd
though.
of
We're
animals.
talking about today and your choices. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
what we did
no,
in the past. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, but
nobody's gonna disagree with you that there was a point in history in which animal consumption may have been necessary. We're talking about right now with people that have access to grocery stores and other options, um, and are choosing to, because they enjoy the taste of somebody else, to pay for the exploitation of that individual.
okay. So you kind of got me on the morality thing. I don't know if I could concede on that because morally, I just couldn't care less to eat an animal, right?
Sure. So it has
But
nothing to do with like morality in yours and my differences. It's the consistency within your own ethics. Now, whether you care or not, that's one thing. But
right,
we did highlight that you are extremely ethically inconsistent with your own values, because you
yeah,
both think that it is okay to exploit others unnecessarily, but also not okay to exploit others unnecessarily. And that is a logical contradiction. You can do with that what you will. I can't force you to do anything.
I got you.
But I know when you say, yeah, we all agree everybody's morals are different. But I can tell you without a doubt, Jeffrey Dahmer was more morally consistent than you are.
Jeffrey Dahmer was a psycho, man.
Yeah, and he thought it was okay to exploit everybody, and that's why I said that. Sure, he was morally bankrupt,
Right,
but
he was wrong.
he was consistent within his morals across the board, and that's why I said that.
Yeah, he was consistent with eating other people. But I guess the real reason why I'm not vegan is just because it's a lot easier for me to eat meat in my day to day routine. I mean, I study, I work out. I mean, to make a vegetable meal that would match the calorie amount and
Not that hard. It's
all
much
that
easier than you
nutrition.
think. So I
And
have
we
right here.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
I
I would
was
just
gonna say we appreciate you for finally being honest about it.
yeah.
That's all you needed
Yeah,
to say from the beginning.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I got you. Yeah, the moral thing, I mean, it could be some like mental gymnastics or semantics, but you guys definitely articulate your ideas way better than mine. And I concede on that part, but when it comes to the convenience and nutritional part of meat, I don't know if I give it up, you know. I mean,
Well,
like to eat a pound of ground beef and get like a third of my protein intake and calorie intake for the day is so easy, and it takes so little time to do that.
okay, so what if you were the one in the cage and your oppressor found out that there was a way for them to not use you? It might take them maybe 20 minutes to figure it out and maybe a month to get their habits down, but would you rather that they stop using you immediately and start trying to use alternatives, or would you rather them just go, you know what, it's more convenient for me to use you. I know you want to live and you want to avoid harm, but you taste so good.
That's not why I eat meat. I eat meat because it's logically better for me to eat it.
Well, I want to mention too, I'm a retired like professional competitive athlete, right? And I was on a plant-based diet for a pretty significant period of that.
Uh-huh.
There wasn't any difference in like, well, the difference in athleticism and recovery actually increased when I went to a
Yeah,
plant-based diet, and it was a lot
I got
easier for me
experience
to
with
both.
that too.
It
Oh,
was
go
a
ahead,
lot
my
easier
bad.
for me to both gain and lose weight whenever it was applicable, right?
Yeah.
And I was doing this at pretty high levels, so.
So my thing with veganism is I tried it in the 6th grade, and I became as skinny as I ever was my entire life. Like,
Well,
no,
in
I'm
the
not kidding
sixth
you.
grade,
I went vegan. I went vegan for 6 months. I didn't touch the meat in the school because there was a documentary that came out. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's called like Game
yeah,
Changers or something.
yeah,
And
but you were in sixth grade though. You were in
yeah,
sixth grade though. You have a lot more of a mental capacity to look into it than a sixth grader did.
no, when I was 6th grade, I knew more about exercise and dieting than anyone around me. I mean, I was
You
into
did.
cardio and shit. I was trying to bulk, and I became as skinny as ever, you know. And then I
This
went
is
back on the meat
silly.
diet.
You're silly. There are
Well, this
so
is just
many bodybuilders that are
this is
vegan.
anecdotal though.
Your little sixth grade understanding is nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing. No,
yeah, yeah.
no, no.
I
Stop
know
saying no.
way more.
Stop, 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 stop.
Go ahead,
You
go
can
ahead.
get everything you need on a plant-based diet.
Okay,
You did it poorly the first time. It sounds like you weren't eating enough. We have resources for you. You can go find out how to get all your needed nutrition and calories. It's not that hard. It's going to take you 20 minutes. But that 20 minutes of torture of looking up food nutrition on a vegan diet versus someone walking into a slaughterhouse so you can lick their insides. Who has it harder?
wait,
Who has it
what?
harder? You learning how to eat 20 minutes maybe in a month of practicing new habits, right? Who has it harder? You learning how to eat or the animal having to walk into the slaughterhouse to have their life taken? Who has it harder? You or the animal?
Subjectively or objectively?
To you. You. Who has
Dude,
it harder? You or the animal?
I got 70 years where I
Who
got
has it
planet.
harder? Who has
I
it
do
harder, Kenny?
definitely.
Kenny! Who
I
has
do.
it harder?
I
You
said
have it
I.
harder taking 20 minutes out of your day to
Let me tell you
relearn
why.
how to eat? No, we're done. I'm done talking to you. Ridiculous. That's disgusting. Get out of here.
He's just
It's just,
talking in
we went through
circles
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
of
And he
nothing.
can't, he's telling me he doesn't have the time. That 20 minutes right there. It's all it takes is look at this resource. It'll take you
Yeah,
like 5 minutes.
but at least he did concede that
Yes.
there was
Yes.
no logical argument against it. So
That's true. He did. You're right. That part I do commend him for admitting, but then he went right back to my convenience matters more. I don't care if someone's losing their head. I don't care if someone wanted to live and they're having their everything taken away. I don't care because I'm benefiting from it. Like, how can you go through 20 minutes of what we talked to and still only think about yourself?
well, I really appreciate you having me. I'm going to try to make your lives as much as I can on Mondays, but I've kind of been on since like 9 this morning.
Oh,
So
please, Ozark. Yes, I actually saw you've been up a lot, not even just today, but like multiple days. So I appreciate you coming up here at all. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
take care, guys.
You too, Ozark.
You gonna
Thanks for
go
coming up.
to Use when he comes on?
I might try to
Take a
take the
break.
rest of the day off because I've been like doing a lot the past few days, and I have a lot of other
Yeah.
work that like I actually need to
You
take
need to
care
take
of.
care of
So
yourself too. That's important because talking to people that are on a different spectrum of ethics can wear on you, and it's good to just, be
big
in
time.
your space for a while.
oh yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Well, take care, guys.
See you,
Okay, see you
Ozark.
later.
Thank you. Everyone should go follow Ozark. Ozark Limbs is a great animal rights activist. Also shows great videos on how to veganically grow food and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, such a great activist. Yeah, please everyone go follow him. Also, Lori Licht, please go follow her. She does great outreach. She goes on other lives, and you have a great background. She's got just a background she can relate to almost any situation. So, please go follow Lori
Thank
as
you.
well. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Are you done now or?
I think I might be done because it is noon.
Okay.
I am going to take a little break, but if I come back, I will try to check out. I keep wanting to go to
Let me
Universes
know- yeah,
Live,
let me-
and things
send
keep
me
getting in the
a-
way.
Okay, send me a thing and let me know if you're coming back.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Okay.
As soon as I come back, I'll be like, hey, I'm going. And I
Okay.
might because I got nothing
Cool.
else going on today, but we'll see.
Yeah, cool. You should.
Yeah, I like Universe.
get
He's
you
a
out.
great activist. So everyone, after this, go look for Universe. What's Universe's full name? Is it just Universe?
Just Universe, yeah.
Okay, look up Universe.
That's his name. Yeah.
He'll be going live. Actually,
He goes live usually around 2,
Okay.
3. He was live earlier, but he wasn't
Okay.
on that long.
So in like 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours,
Yeah,
look
he's
for
like
Universe.
2 hours ahead of us.
Okay.
He's in Chicago.
Got it. Well, nice. That's
Yeah, so
awesome.
we'll
I
go
know of
there,
another
man.
vegan in Chicago. I wonder if they know each
Yeah.
other.
I don't know, maybe. If
Yeah.
you could.
Do you know who Haas the Vegan is?
I've heard of him, but I don't know him.
Yeah, that's okay.
I've heard
He's
of
just a YouTuber, and he's pretty good too. I think he actually just started up on TikTok too. I don't know if he's going to start going live yet, but yeah, Haas the Vegan is really great. And I forgot what my point was with him though. It was I forgot. Oh well.
Okay.
Anyway, Haas the Vegan. Go check him out too.
Yeah, I'll look him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know if you come back, but come to Universe's thing too.
Yeah, and I'll probably remember what I was saying, and I'll just send it to you in private message.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
All right.
Cool.
Well, thank
All
you,
right.
Lori. Thank you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank
Talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll see you later. And I should be.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll be back on Wednesday, but I will for sure be here Friday. And I think I'm going to do Friday 9 a.m. instead of 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right. I'll see you in a little while.
Sounds
Bye.
good. All right. Bye. Thank you to all my people in the chat, all my vegans and non-vegans. I appreciate you all being here. Vegans, thank you for talking to people that are maybe confused that I'm not able to keep up with in the chat. And thank you to my mods for keeping the chat as safe as possible. I know that it gets really overwhelming sometimes, so I appreciate your efforts because it's a lot and it's needed. So thank you. Yeah, other than that, you guys have a great vegan day, and I'll see you, if not Wednesday, I'll see you on Friday. And I'm sorry to everyone in the waiting queue. I see there's 4 of you there, but I'll see you on Friday, okay? All right, you guys have a great day. Bye.